Hey, it's the Sketch Zone Podcast, episode 150.
Yes, sir.
Yo, yo.
I am Carlos Gomez, and this week we're going to talk to someone who we met at Ground Zero Animation Expo, and come to find out, he's probably the coolest guy you'll ever meet. That, my friends, is the one and only Mike Essa.
Yeah.
And I'm right there.
Welcome, sir. You see how that did? You see how that works?
Yeah, there we go.
Welcome to episode 150, sir.
Thank you, guys. I feel pretty honored, 150 episodes. First on. That's quite an accomplishment.
Well, you should.
150 episodes, 2 to 3 hour long,
Yeah, that's a lot of talking.
That's a lot of hours, yeah.
Yeah, it's nuts. That's 400. That's 4,500 hours. Yeah,
Whoa.
Right.
You got a math whiz.
We still have plenty to talk about.
Yeah, I'm not tired. You tired, Carlos? I'm not tired.
Do those remaining 3 hours.
But the funny thing is, you'll see once we get to talking and stuff like that, people are like, "Wow, it's been 3 hours." Like, yeah, it's been 3 hours.
Flies right on by.
Flies by.
I know, man. That's nuts. I remember the first time, and you were telling me like from 9 to 11. Like 9 to 11, is that typical podcast hours? But what do I know? But
11 to 2 a.m. for me.
Yeah, exactly.
Just like Noel says, yeah, that's too much, Carlos. Pump the brakes there, kid.
Well, that's why I offset Carlos. I'm like really nice garnish with the darker variety. It's good. Good. It works together. Together, it tastes great.
Speaking of which, that's Charlie B. Williams.
What's up, nation? Back. We hit the throwback. As you can see, we had to rock the Sketch Zone t-shirts. We got to account for Mr. Jackson here. We even got a members only pin Mr. Mike Essa's working on tonight. It's good. I'm rocking the vintage, as you can see. It's not as bright as Carlos's shirt because it's vintage and it has the sketchy Sketch Zone text. So I'm happy to be here for 150.
And here's the Sketch Zone mascot.
There it is.
You don't have one now. You have one right now.
Episode 150 officially has a mascot.
Yeah, it is.
They had a Gypsy.
What's up, Gypsy? Hey.
Kitty cat.
She likes it.
Oh, man.
She meows, but she likes it though. But so for 150, I am drinking myself some very, very expensive $2,000 bottle. No, it's only a $26 bottle of mezcal El Silencio.
Ooh, fancy.
Well, to match you, sir, I'm drinking a glass of the finest Taco Bell Diet Pepsi.
There it is, vintage.
That is pretty vintage. A whole $1.19 for that.
Okay. I can't do this. I can't do this. I can't do this anymore. I have to say this. Okay, Mike, you have a doppelganger that's living in and around Chicago and Wisconsin.
Wait, you're not talking about an actor?
No, not an actor.
No, Mr. I Love Myself.
He's a famous he's a famous motion graphics artist.
I know who you're talking about. I know who you're talking about.
Like, tell me who he looks like to you. Tell me, Carlos. Am I the only one that sees this?
He looks like Grayscale Gorilla.
Yes, he looks like
who?
The gorilla. Yeah, Mr.
The gorilla. I've never I've been said I've been told, "Yo, Mike, you look like Zachary Quinto from Heroes," and I'm like, that's the only first time I ever agree with anyone. It's like, yeah, right. I actually do look like this guy because I used to get what's his face, the comedian. I'm already drawing a blank from this guy because that's how much I don't really listen to this guy. But I look like.
So you look like a guy named Nick Campbell. Nick goes by the name of Grayscale Gorilla. He's a famous motion graphic
artist. You go. That's who I got
right
there.
Yeah, there he is right there.
Nick Campbell. I've never. Whoa, that's a brand new one.
Click a different one. Click a different one. Click a different one. He's got a little beard now.
Oh wow. Okay, I can see why. He's got actual eyebrows that a human should have. I have like these caterpillars here.
This is awesome.
I gotta use a mowing machine to just.
Like if you put on black rim glasses, I don't know. You could look like Mr. Nick here.
And I actually
so as I
spaces, yeah.
I actually
as I read through the chat room real quick, looks like Greg from Eden Sky Studios and Noel both are saying, "Hey, I want a T-shirt. I feel left out." Well, if you go to coconutjustice.threadless.com, you too can score a Sketch Zone T-shirt. And we even have the vintage throwback ones.
Oh, there you go.
Available.
If you want to be spicy, like more.
All proceeds go to help pay the bills of.
Is it on the website too, though?
Yeah, but that just bounces you over to the Threadless store.
Okay. So if you forget,
it's been around that long. You got vintage T-shirts.
I love it.
That's right. That's 150. 150 episodes, 48,000 hours of quality chat.
There you go, man. And cheers to that.
Cheers.
Or as my
speaking of chat,
my favorite people are in the chat.
Yeah, that's right.
There it is.
You can talk to us live on the chat. Otherwise, you can use the Sketch Zone hotline. That's 408-SKETCH-8, 408-753-8248. International callers, please use 011-408-753-8248. And let me show you the quality. We got the extended disco mix because that's how we get down.
Here we go.
Jack is not here, so I get the sound. I do what I want, and I want what I do.
You want what you do. Huh? Yeah. Let's talk about it. Jack, I ain't gonna be able to hold this guy back without you here. It's gonna be, hey, it's all his fault. Let's put it this way when you listen to this.
Jack is at a what is it, 8:30 creative networking event tonight. Yes. So he missed out. He missed out on episode 150.
Yeah, you know that's. First off, I love that you have Price is Right sound bites in here because it used to be like the show I would watch. Well, I still watch that show whenever I can, but that's kudos to you. Yeah, and second, Jack, when you watch this, shame on you for not being here for this special. Yeah, you're going home with nothing. Dude, this is all.
Oh, Jack's speaking in front of a bunch of people.
Yeah, that's a huge deal. I mean,
being the center of attention.
Animation director, that's I hope people get some insight from what he has to say tonight. So again,
I got bronchitis.
Hey. What was I going to say?
Carlos.
Oh. I do not have the sound effect for the what you call it. Yes, Noel, people do use the Sketch Zone hotline. You'll see later.
Ooh.
The Sketch Zone hotline. I like the sound of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I even see someone says does anyone use the hotline? You guys got
That's Noel. Ignore her.
Ignore her.
Wow. Wow.
So hey,
from prompt time.
I believe every day's a good day
when you paint. Boom.
Can we do that again so I can be a part of this? Your guys' synchronized singing.
We usually have a nice little intro song, but Mr. Jack's not here, so it's improvised.
Here's a
what we got
for when Jack is it.
I can't control any of this week.
So we have an obese imp in Charles Schultz style. So let's take a look. We have, that's last week's show. We have something from Bad Art Corner.
Ooh, here we go.
Dun, dun, dun. I like it. I like it a lot.
I like it.
Oh Jesus, that looks like the one I'm drawing right now. That's actually pretty good. I like the
stomach and the stripes. It's great.
I like the stripes. I was just gonna say I like how they did a little throwback to that.
Yeah, very good job. He's definitely got a lot of the Charles Schultz influence in there. Let's see who else. Hey, that's me. Shiloh Maestro, please.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's really good. It's really good.
Shiloh be killing it, even when we put him on what you call it? We give him restrictions.
Yeah, trying to stretch
restrictions. He's like, oh, I got this.
Yeah, this is a good one for you. I like this.
Yeah,
I remember seeing that one, the Linus that you just had right there.
Noel says, "Shut up, Carlos. I'm lovable. Damn it."
She must be like our hotline.
She's our trouble child.
She's gonna kill you in the chat.
Shiloh is awesome.
Yeah, Shiloh's great. Good job. I like it because it's when we put these restrictions, I love when they use that in the style of with the prompts. I feel like now the prompt gets technical and it gets to push people to look at different styles of art and try to change up their line art and all that good stuff. So this is good.
Right.
This is my favorite when I see this stuff.
And again, it's one of those where even Shiloh has his certain style. So if you draw like someone else, it helps you break out of that box or break out of your habits.
Because even the thick and thin lines it's great. And the dusty dust, kick up like
that's Pigpen's dust.
Yeah, man. It's a lot of things in this.
Even like the ground, like just that's like such a Charles Schultz, just like the real like quick.
Yeah. It's you're right, man. The ground, just a little bit of gestural squiggly line for the ground, but then like the over smile. This is like the candid, like Snoopy, like like laugh or whatever, where the eyes get really small and it's most of the head's the mouth opening. It's just great.
All right, let's see.
Yeah.
We have Cander's Creations.
I love the background choice of this one too. This is really good. Yeah, it's like a little homage. Yeah, good.
Linus looks like an imp. Even like in human, like a weird looking head. Like look at the like that's what his head actually looks like, minus the pointy ears. That's just like my brother and I would always talk about, like just how goofy his head looked like. It looks like someone was just like got a lump of clay. Charles Schultz just got a lump of clay and just like Linus's head right there. He just traced what he had. Poor Linus.
Shiloh is in the chat, like perfect timing. He said,
"Don't make fun of my
between Carlos sound effects and Noel, you've got your hands full today, Charlie."
Yeah, but to separate them. You sit over there. You sit over here. Don't touch it. They won't listen to me at all.
So yeah, good job, Canders.
Great job, Canders. What's next? We had some good ones this week. Ooh,
mine.
Nice.
He looks like such a shithead.
Yo, is it just me or all the imps? They're so unhappy in Charles Schultz's world.
But they're also Charlie Brown, because Charlie Brown just has the worst of it. Like he's like,
he always gets pooped on.
Yeah, he's like the joke of anything, of any story. Like, and that's like I love how people just, even till this day, after 50 years of Charlie Brown, he still gets shit on by other artists. Make him look like this.
That's funny.
Let's see. We got
oh wow,
Mitrofanova.
Ooh.
Iona. Mitrofanova Aliona.
Thank you for that. Congrats on pronouncing that correctly.
How dare you? We're gonna have to put Noel on timeout. Back to
sorry.
What am I missing out? Hold on, let me pull up my
I said that Charlie Brown is Carlos in comic form. LOL.
I will say you started this.
About to get put on timeout.
You started it, man. You opened the box.
No filter.
There we go. This is a good one.
So this is. I like the color. This is like when people on American Idol is like, you took this and you made it your own.
Yes. American Idol? Is that you're dating back that far?
Dancing with little Paula action. That's like when Lionel Richie just doesn't say no wrong. Compliments everybody.
So yeah, I like the work, the color work in this one.
I think this is natural. I think this is a scan, right? So this must be pencil.
Pencil. It looks like colored pencil. I like that crosshatch background though.
Yeah, cool.
Cool.
Stretching people. Who we got next?
We got the one and only Sketchbook Jack.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say
this is
Jack's like, I gotta get this one out. I got a sketchbook here at work. Let's do this.
Yeah.
It's black and white. I'm already at home.
He drew this in traffic.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was gonna say that look. I was like that style looks familiar. Sure enough.
No, but look at the gargoyle next. Look, peek into Jack's sketchbook, which I want to see now. Because I like the other two characters that are in it, but he's like, yeah, let me get the fun prompt in there.
Yeah, what the heck is going on with those other two characters? Okay.
It's part of his sketchbook.
Oh, you gotta look at it sideways.
Yeah, he just was like, you know what? I need to do this fun prompt. Right? Shadow peeped the other sketches too. Yeah, Jack's hiding his sketchbook, and I'm going to find it next time I'm out that way. And I'm looking look through all of it because it's got the coloring with the gray tones and stuff. I want to see. I got a feeling it's a hidden gem, and I'm going to somehow show it to you guys. I just don't know yet.
Well, you better find that right now
and steal it.
Oh man,
we got Con Kane.
I think that was one of the first submissions that I saw was that one.
Yeah,
nice.
This is again, it's someone took the basic structure of the character and made it their own. This is really cool stuff.
I think everybody, you know what? I thought we were going to have a quiet week again because sometimes people veer away from the style stuff because they're like, I can't draw like that. We got a lot of submissions this week.
That's because we're giving away a free sketch wallet.
Yeah, that too. But I like to think they like Charles Schultz,
And also Charles Schultz is, his style is pretty simple to
mimic. Approachable. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah. I think I just finished. That's awesome.
We got Pat Mast. I like that everyone has been moving the camera around. We've been talking about this very thing.
Yeah, for sure.
For quite a few weeks in a row. Everyone gets stuck in the face forward camera position, now we're starting to see. Shiloh and Jack have been doing it. I've been trying to do it. And now, Pat Mast is getting into it too. And when you move the camera up and down, the subject matter becomes way more interesting because it's not like we're stuck looking straight on and we're not used to looking different angles like this. Like this one is the perfect example where we're down at like worm's eye level looking up. It's a really cool camera technique. Pat Mast.
That is.
Good job.
That's storyboarding 101. getting different camera techniques and different angles.
I'm excited to talk to you about that, because that's something that I want to play around with too. Camera angles.
Absolutely.
Just like Eden Sky Studios, or it's probably Greg. He says camera angles really dictate the emotions or the power of a character too. Neat.
Oh,
yeah, totally.
There's so many things that contribute to it, but yeah, we'll get into that though.
And this one is really funny because if it was Charlie Brown, might be the first time in Charlie Brown history where he actually has power.
He actually has a smile on his face. And
hey, Greg. All right, so let's see. We got who is this? Oh, Rick Mezart. Rick Mezart. Another solid one. And actually kicks the ball. Yeah, he actually kicks the ball. Yeah.
Nice.
So yeah.
All of these are fantastic.
This is a combination between Charles Schultz, Charlie Brown, and like Garbage Pail Kids, because he looks like a little kid that's melting.
I'm trying to see. I'm just looking in the hashtag to see like what their medium was. It looks like most of it's been digital. But that one Buddha looking one, I'm just gonna say Buddha, the one where it looks like it's eating a watermelon. Like, did you guys see in the hashtags if that what medium that was?
I think she's Russian, but I believe it's paper and color pencil.
It says she used Zagreb.
Perfect. I told you. My Russian is getting better. Let's see. We got Nick Zimmer.
This one I saw and I loved because he's holding a crucifix and he's freaking out. Look how big.
So good.
It's actually kind of creepy looking because the colors are so vivid and it looks so. You just see this thing floating their way and he's puts Snoopy with the crucifix.
That's funny. I didn't even see the crucifix I
didn't see it
first. That's funny. But Scribbler said, I think Chuck pissed his pants.
God, it looks like, I don't know. Yeah, what is that he's sitting on? It looks like it is peel. It's like the ink bled through his shoes.
Yeah. Like Greg said, it looks like it's a bad trip.
Yeah. That dude is tripping right now.
So kids, don't do drugs.
Unless, no.
This is G. Lowry. Graham Lowry.
I like the colors of this one.
Very cool. Graham is super solid.
Oh, it's a cute imp. And there's
yeah.
There's Charlie and his well, used to be implied that it was that Peppermint Patty was his girlfriend, but now it's like there's this joke. I don't know if I'm allowed to offend people on here, but that she's let's just say playing for the other team.
I think she had a crush on Charlie Brown, but the girl that follows her around, I think, had a crush on Peppermint Patty.
Something like that, yeah.
I think that's how that goes.
Peppermint Patty, and gosh, I forgot her name.
And she me too.
Calls her Sir.
Who?
What's her face? Her little friend would call her Sir all the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. I remember.
Whatever her name is, but yeah.
Yeah. See, I think I just opened Charlie up into it.
Noelle, she said, "Well, we let Carlos on here, so hard to offend people." LOL. How dare you, sir?
How dare you, sir?
And this one's very, very cute. She said I had perfect feet. How long before they're not perfect feet? Archie Cromwell.
That's a pretty awesome drawing. I don't see too much Charles Schultz. I see actually a lot of Dr. Seuss.
Yeah.
But, almost like Dr. Seuss meets Jim Henson. Because, I mean, the only reason I say that is just because, like, just looking at small things like the feet, even like the eyes, like Charles Schultz never did full eyes. He only did dust. Not shitting on his work or anything. It actually looks, I like how thick the lines are. Like, that's the one thing that I also find important that I need to work on myself as an artist is adding volume to your outlines. And this is kind of like, this guy nailed it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. 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 And I talk about it every time I stream, I talk about stuff like that. I've been doing my, my fun prompts on Twitch. And whenever it's something like that, where it's someone's style, I try to break down the style. And Charles Schultz has a lot of just dots for eyes and stuff like that. But his line work is magic. So yeah, so that was all of that. Everyone who submitted artwork is eligible now for a drawing.
Yeah.
But before we do that,
let's
go ahead.
There's one more imp you got to do though.
One more imp.
Yeah, fine. I did it while you guys were talking.
Where is it?
I will show it to you right now. There, that's all. I didn't have much time to.
What the what? That imp is angry.
Yeah, everybody's mad.
Yeah.
Like an old man, Charlie Brown imp. Like off my lawn, kids type of.
When I saw the first the first one, I was like, oh shit, that looks a lot like the one I'm doing right now. Well, so I just figured I'll just have fun, do a middle finger. Anyway, oh, there you are. There
it is.
Chuck Brown, Charlie Imp. All right, enough of that.
Like Charlie at age 50. 65.
All right, so let's go back to set a fun prompt. All right, my good friend Mike. These are all the selections that we have available: adjective, animal, character, action, style, location. What should we turn on and what should we turn off? Let me give you a fair warning. The more you pick, the more people that watch will cuss you out.
That's okay.
So if I just say
pick what you want.
Uncheck the last three. Wait, hold on a second. So I can pick one more and take one off.
You can pick pick anywhere between 2 and 4.
Okay.
And like Shiloh said, be nice, Mike.
All right, Shiloh. Well,
that's a lot of pressure because Shiloh's my boy, dude.
Well, look, if I say location, I think automatically that would piss a lot of people off because that means I have to do a background. No, I'm not saying do that one. So I say take off animal.
Okay. Animal's gone.
And we can add in 2 more, yeah?
Yeah.
Action.
1 or 2 more, yeah. Noelle, take it easy, killer. She said, don't take the easy road.
Ah, there it is. My own heart. That's okay. Yeah. Speak your truth, girl.
No. She can join in when she does a fun prompt. Damn. Oh, I don't have the gunshot. Golly.
Yeah.
I was gonna be shots fired.
What?
It was an explosion.
Jack, come back soon. What hell of a gunshot. All right. You picking 2 more? 1 more? What are you doing?
Yeah. Action and style.
Okay, so we got a style again? An action
and style.
So we have an adjective, a character, an action.
She said, I'm not an artist.
Tough.
All right.
Cookies.
So we have adjective, character, action and style. Ready?
Ready.
Ready.
Ooh.
Plastic goblin tie-dyeing Art Deco.
Yo, they hate you.
Jeepers.
Yo,
You guys got a lot of comments.
Art Deco.
Art Deco.
Yo, our prompter is awesome.
Wait a second. Tie-dyeing Art Be nice, Mike.
Greg said, "Dope."
This is so great.
Hold on.
I can't wait till Jack sees it. What did he put? Art Deco. Like, I love it because Jack.
Oh God, Art Deco. This is gonna be a nightmare.
Yo, let's do this.
Oh my goodness.
Step back, dude. Can we like?
Oh my goodness.
Oh
my goodness.
This is so good.
You know what? I'm gonna tell you the truth. This is
cool.
right up Jack's alley.
Yo,
This
that's
is
why
right
he
up
threw it
Jack's
in there.
alley.
That's why he threw it in. That's why I'm laughing.
Ugh.
I'm
Like, Jack is giving us.
I am
Jack
like.
doesn't even
It was
have to
like
be here.
it was like a sleeper. He knew it was gonna come up someday. He got into his art bag and was like, I'm gonna put Art Deco in the style. Cool with that.
Tie-dyeing Art Deco. Look at all those photos of Art Deco. Barely any colors. And look at their shit.
Jack breaks the Art Deco style with the whole thing of tie-dye. Right? So it could be cool. It's
Dude,
like repeating patterns with a bunch of colors.
We're discovering like a new form of art Deco, and like just
tie-dye Art Deco.
Yo, Carlos, this breaks his style. Jack could have totally did like the black and white repeating patterns, but now he has to do color.
We're gonna call this theme Tie Deco.
Tie Deco. All right, repeat it one more time for everybody so they know again.
Holy cow. This is gonna be tough. A plastic goblin tie-dyeing. How the hell do you? We're gonna have to Google that too. Tidying.
He's gonna be
Goblins. Don't goblins kind of look like imps? Anyways.
Tidying is to bring to order and arrange neatly, which
so he's like
fits perfectly. Which fits perfectly with all of this.
Yeah.
Tidying up. Yeah.
So yeah, we did kind of goblin and deck and like and imp is kind of the same.
Yeah, this is good to go.
But your goblin might not even look like a goblin in the Art Deco style.
Do you guys so now I feel super comfortable with plastic tidying and Art Deco.
Plastic, huh?
Oh, wait, is it tie-dyeing or tidying? Like cleaning up?
Tidying, like you're cleaning.
Like you're cleaning up something.
This whole time I thought it was tie-dyeing.
No, like you're straightening stuff up. No, I thought it for at first too. I was like, that breaks his like black and white stuff. But this is great for Jack. And I want to know. I want to go in the code, and I know I'm not supposed to. I just want to see all the styles that he put in there. But I'm gonna let it be a surprise to me because the Deco one is like great.
Okay. So real quick, everyone wants to do a goblin again. Shiloh, do you guys want to do a goblin?
Because we could do a reroll on the character. I would be okay with that.
Like you broke your Art Deco and so you have to clean it up.
Oh, giving him ideas. No.
Like you broke your Art Deco, so you have to clean it up. Oh, there you go.
I broke.
You got a neat freak.
Should we re-roll on the character, Carlos?
I'm totally down to do that again because I see Imp and Goblin kind of almost one of the same.
Yeah, let's hide everything else.
That's it. Let's do this. I'm gonna lock everything down.
And
I'm
gonna do Goblin again.
Every 150 episodes. Well, you're gonna stick with the Goblin. Or no? Oh, you're locking everything up.
No, we're gonna re-roll the Goblin.
But depending on what happens now, either we do Goblin or we do the new one.
Yes, that is correct.
All
right. You're correct.
How about a speaker?
There we go.
Plastic speaker tidying Art Deco.
Because a speaker could be like a person talking.
It could be a speaker. It could be what Jack is doing tonight.
It could be a goblin with a microphone.
It could be anybody at that point speaking to something.
There we are. See, look at that. I just left the options open to everyone. They could.
I think they feel better.
Go.
There we go. This feels good. We're gonna keep it. Let's keep it.
We good here? Yeah, I say we're good.
Take the screenshot. I'm excited.
Ready to go. Ready to go. Okay. So now that we say that, I have my Red Baron Racing cap that I'm going to flip upside down.
Oh,
we're going to take Con Kane.
Congratulations. Good luck.
No. We haven't.
I said good luck. I said good luck.
Oh. All right. So Con Kane is in the hat.
Yep.
We have Pat Mast in the hat.
Good luck.
Are these guys like a?
Thank you for participating.
Thank you for participating.
Nick Zimmer Art is in the hat.
Good luck, Nick. Congrats. You've won already.
Rick Mez Art.
Good luck.
You won our hearts.
Good luck, buddy.
Archie Cromwell.
Archie, I'm rooting for you, buddy.
Archie Cromwell. All right.
Archie.
Cander's Creations.
Cander.
You're going in the hat.
These are all the dudes that worked on the
this week's prompt. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. These are all the
Bad Art Corner.
Bad Art Corner.
You're going in the
feel
hat.
Good about this for you, man.
And if you guys are worried whether or not I actually wrote, because I know on this camera you can't see, I posted a picture on Instagram already, so you can see that these really are
so thorough.
Graham Lowry. Lowry's season salt.
Black Larry.
And the one and only Shiloh illustration.
Shiloh
is going.
Good luck, sir.
In the hat. I don't have a drum roll. I do have.
And stop. Close your eyes. Close your eyes. All right, pull one out.
And the winner is Rick Mazart.
Oh, where's the applause? Yes.
Cheers to you, Rick.
Rick Mazart.
Good job, dude. Yeah, buddy. Cool.
Rick Mazart. Yeah,
Congrats.
buddy.
Congrats.
I will. I'll reach out to you on Instagram. We'll get that out to you. Hopefully you don't live far, brother, because the way my bank account is set up.
See, what had happened was.
So that was the fun prompt.
That's good.
That was awesome, man.
Rick Mazart, you're getting this.
The hotness.
Congratulations.
Save your ideas and save your money.
Ooh, that dude's happy for you.
Yeah, buddy. So, as we're talking about drawing and doing all that stuff, did you guys happen to read that? As I'm looking for my damn notes.
You can talk about a
Affinity Designer. There we go. Affinity Designer is coming out. A full version of Affinity Designer is coming out for iPad.
Ooh. And
hey, Mike, do you get down with the old vectors and such?
Old sickness.
Say that again. It was kind of chopping out. Am I down with the old vectors?
Do you get down with the vectors?
Every now and then, like if I do a job that calls for it. For my personal stuff, not really, because I have no need to like blow anything up. Most of what I do is like a pretty clean lines. Yeah, unless there's another underlying theme that you're going for here with, do I do vectors?
No, but that's it. No double meaning.
No, that's it.
But like, it's cool. Go ahead, Carlos.
No, I was just gonna say I have Illustrator, but yeah, why? What's what is it called? Affinity Design.
Affinity Designer. It's cool. We've talked about this on the show before, right, Carlos?
I believe so. For a little bit, yeah.
Yeah. Now the other cool thing about this is it works hand in hand, from what I remember from the articles and stuff, with the Apple Pencil.
Yeah.
So it's like really, really good with it. Like there's some videos online showing it, and it's like literally nice, 1-to-1, really, really great. So for those artists that are really into those styles and stuff like that, but I think you can do more with it too. But like it's really good.
It's freehand. It's freehand drawing, right?
Yeah, they have that in there too.
See, the one thing I did not like about Illustrator, which is why I don't really use it that much, is because like I don't have that option to like freehand draw like I do with like Photoshop or something. But there is a pretty cool program called you may have heard of it. It's called Draw with Mischief.
Yeah, we talked about that too on the show. Yeah,
it's cheap. I got it for like $60, and I think that was like during like a student discount thing or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
but
it's super cheap like that, just in general.
Yeah. If you like that, then you'd like Affinity Designer.
Okay, I'll have to check it out. Affinity, like with the
well, Mischief is a little different. Affinity Designer is more like Illustrator, whereas Mischief is just an infinite canvas. Yeah. So you're able to get in there and just constantly draw. Can you export to
Photoshop?
No, I know you can export to Photoshop, but can you take a Mischief drawing and export it to Illustrator?
I assume so, and if you can't, then I figured. Well, actually, that's a good question, because I was going to say you can just take it into Photoshop and then from there take it to Illustrator, but then that loses the vector quality. That's a good question, though.
I'm trying to see. I have it open right now, and no, you can't, because you can only export as PNG, JPEG, or PSD. So the thing that makes Mischief super powerful is that you're drawing, and it'll save as you're drawing it. It's a vector, but when you save out, it has to be a bitmap. So the math that goes behind all the brushstrokes and everything makes the infinite canvas possible. But when you're exporting it, you're limited to raster image.
Whereas Affinity Design, you can actually save. Could you save it like as PDF and bring it to Illustrator if you wanted to?
I think you can export. Let's see. I think you can export as maybe even SVG or something like that.
How much is this program? Do you know, like off the top of your heads?
For the iPad, I think it's right around $11.
$11? That's all?
Yeah.
And they have a launch.
But then
you get a 30% discount.
The what?
For the launch, you get a 30% discount.
Oh, snap.
And upon checkout, if you type the promo code Mike SR, you'll get another 30%. No, you don't.
so right now you can buy Affinity Designer for iPad, 30% discount at $13.99.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's $13.99.
And what about like the program on the computer? Is it only like meant for mobile apps? Is it like a mobile app, I should ask?
Yeah, so the iPad one is for iPad, and then they also have a desktop version of it too.
Oh, sweet. I'm downloading that shit.
So you can export out EPS files, PSDs, SVGs, PDFs,
there you go,
JPEGs, PNGs, TIFFs, and GIFs.
Oh, that's rad, man. Yeah, I'm gonna look that up right now.
Yeah, it's a layer-based system also too. So you got all your layers and curves and stuff like that.
And the big thing, the thing that makes this a really big deal right now is that they rewrote Affinity Designer specifically for iPad
and
so it's
Apple Pencil. Yeah.
So people are starting to actually look at the iPad as a delivery system. You know, it used to be a gimmick for a long time, but now there's people like Procreate who created an absolutely amazing bitmap drawing program with gradients and all that stuff. And now Affinity Designer is out, and it's exactly like Illustrator.
Yeah.
But the important thing is here, if you want Illustrator, hey Corey. But the thing about Illustrator is you have to pay Adobe $50 a month. They might have an Illustrator bundle that you can pay into, but it's a membership fee no matter what you do. Whereas Affinity Designer, especially on the iPad, you spend $14 and you're off and running.
Yeah, it's optimized for touch. You can do fluid shapes. Stabilization is really good for the freehand tool. And they talked about they have a crazy zoom in rate even on the iPad version of over 1,000,000%, 1,000% zoom or whatever they're talking about. Zoom to over 1,000,000%, they say. So,
which is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What the hell are you working on that you have to zoom in 1,000,000%?
Now, I had to look through this because I know we talked about this before, and I remember this because I remember I've used the desktop version, and this was the big thing for this, Carlos. So I had to search through their site because I was like, I think it's more than what we're talking about. I just want to make sure everybody knows. So the biggest thing with this one too is it's a hybrid program, so you can do vector and raster-based stuff in one app. So you can switch it over and still go totally like Photoshop style brushes and painting and all that good stuff. And it was one of those Omni apps that I think we talked about, Carlos, probably around the 50 show mark, where we were talking about alternatives to Photoshop. If you didn't want to do Creative Cloud, before Creative Cloud got to be where it was now, we were giving people options. It was this one, it was Mischief, it was that one other one back when Autodesk had the Sketchbook Pro. We told them about that one. This one was that one we talked about that did both. So this is like a Photoshop and an Illustrator in one.
Yeah, Sketchbook Pro, by the way, is free.
Now that's free.
That's why.
And I love it.
It was you that showed me that Sketchbook Pro was free. You're why my computer runs like shit now, because I had to upgrade a High Sierra to download it.
Yo. Nice, right? When he thought you got it.
Well,
he brought you in, and then
we're gonna have some words.
So it's been nice talking to you, Mike. If people are looking for you online, where can they find you?
No. Yeah. So I mean, guys out there, though, in all seriousness, I think you guys should check this out. Everybody in the chat, look into this. It's always good to have a backup, right? You never know what's going to happen. And the whole thing where you can do a non-destructive vector workflow and a non-destructive raster workflow in the same app. It's unique to this app of this nature. You can switch instantly from vector to pixel mode, adding textures and nuance and precision layouts and all this other good stuff, and get this really cool. There's this on the site itself. There's these really cool hybrid illustrations they have here, where you can definitely tell they're blending, and you can definitely tell you can zoom all the way in, and the line art's super crisp. So imagine having your super crisp line art that you would do in Illustrator, but then like going in and then supplementing all that with a really nice shading of Photoshop. You can get some really good stuff. It has complete color controls, CMYK. You have adjustment layers. There's adjustment layers in this also, so all the powers of like your blending modes and stuff like that on your layers. Super smooth gradients. It has live blending mode, so you see that happening in real time, and that's just something that's one of their little tricks. Affinity Designer for iPad contains a huge range of blend modes, including glow, luminance, color, reflect, darken. Like I thought this is really cool. Oh, nice. He's got it up right there. Yeah.
I might get it. I might get it right now.
Oh,
branding.
Yeah.
Carlos, you like this part too from your design.
Stop.
Do it. I say do it. Look, they have a whole typography suite too now. So you have grids and guides for your typography stuff. So if you do t-shirts like Carlos and Jack and a couple other guys and stuff, like you can do that. You can fine tune your text. So they show you like being able to edit your text and stuff like that. You can do text on a pass. You can frame text out. Then they talk about UI design, doing that, boost all this stuff. Pixel perfect design, simultaneous symbols.
I'm on the Apple store right now. $35 just for the desktop version.
Remember, guys, it's built for the iPad. Multi-touch. It's cool.
So what's funny is I started downloading it and my internet started going crazy.
Wow.
I was like, okay, later, fine. Jeez.
Here, I want to show. Man, they need to send me a check for all this promotion we're doing right now. But like the program's cool. I think I love it when they've been sitting on this and the rollout's good. Because like all the artists they've gotten. Have you seen this like crazy like Japanese like masked creature samurai looking type of like
from Three Ninjas?
Yeah, it's like really cool. And then like all their typography stuff is on point. And then this crazy lion, there's this crazy lion one too here.
For someone like myself who is a complete noob when it comes to like Illustrator, like would this be a great alternative and like I guess kind of like a beginner's sort of thing? Like if I want, like if someone says like, hey Mike, I need a logo, can you come up with one? Could I completely do all of that on here instead of Illustrator?
Yeah. Right. This is that. This is like Photoshop and Illustrator combined into one program. Now, so whatever you need to do, you can do it in this program.
Well, now so I'm like a guru at Photoshop, but I suck at Illustrator. I only use Illustrator really just to live trace what I do in Photoshop. If I do something in Photoshop, could I bring that into here, or is that not going to be supported?
It seems like from what I saw up here, it exports out to PSD files. So I wouldn't be surprised if you can import in.
Yeah,
you might be able to import.
Dude, I'm gonna get this. I'm glad I'm doing this.
I mean, it's really not a lose situation at all because at the end of the day,
careful, Mike. We don't want your iPad to run like shit.
No, it's on my MacBook, which is already thanks to you. No, I'm just kidding, brother. No, dude, it needed the update anyways, even if it didn't want it. So, but I'm gonna go
$14. Some people pay that for a stupid game they buy. I love the Apple Pencil support. I mean,
here's a question that I've been. I asked someone else this not too long ago.
There's editing skills, photo stuff, editing you can do in it.
Because there's people who I see drawing on the iPad on the new iPad.
Yeah.
Now, how do you feel about using the iPad as your resource of drawing, even if it's if it comes to being a freelancer and would you rely on drawing on the iPad Pro or whatever the latest iPad is with the iPen, or do you think it or would you rather use an actual reputable tablet, kind of like a Cintiq or something, like a Cintiq tablet, because it's many. What I'm trying to say is Wacom and Cintiq, they are in the business of we're making these screens only so you can draw on, and if you want, you can use that as a monitor. Where iPad is here's an iPad, you can do everything on here and draw. So it's kind of like a secondary thing, drawing on an iPad is more secondary. That's not what their main focus is on. Whereas
I think you could say that for anything other than the Apple Pencil, because I feel like that's probably the best one-to-one on the iPad to me. I've
seen. Here is some of the benefits and some of the drawbacks. If you have an iPad, if you're a professional artist, go get the iPad Pro with the Apple Pencil. And then you get Affinity Designer and you get Procreate. That's basically all you need. So now you have vector and bitmap covered. and you can draw. So then what you also get is, oh, I just downloaded it. I have, come on, spin back. I have this thing called,
Is that the iPad Pro you have?
Yeah, this is the iPad Pro. However, if you get, where did it go? I forget what it's called. Otherwise, I wouldn't be wasting time doing this.
Do you have the Jeopardy thing? Yeah, considering that you have the Price is Right.
Mm-hmm.
I don't, but I do have something that's probably going to upset people. I have, what's it called? Man, my display. Oh, here we go. It's called AstroPad.
Okay.
And if you tap that, it's probably going to make my computer go crazy. So I'm going to stop that. But AstroPad actually will mimic what you have on your computer on your iPad.
Yeah.
Share screen.
So you can use Photoshop and Illustrator and literally everything on your computer on your iPad, because it takes over for your Cintiq.
What is it called again? Because I have, sorry, what is it called?
It's called AstroPad.
AstroPad. See, I have one that's called A Power Mirror. I don't know if you've ever heard of that.
No.
I don't know if you can even see it, but like, I mean, that's just like the front of it, though. The app looks like this right there. But
yeah,
I've used it once. It's kind of like whatever. I think I'd rather use like the one what you're talking about right now. Sounds a little bit more reliable.
Yeah. So AstroPad, and it registers the pressure sensitivity and all that stuff.
Oh, okay. That's never mind.
But the thing is, if you have, like, I'm used to having my Cintiq, and then I have a bunch of stuff happening over here on this screen. I have multiple screens all over the place. So if I have, say, YouTube running here, Photoshop on the Cintiq, something else happening here, not sure it would have the bells and whistles like Wacom has, which some industries may need a lot more. Yeah, that's true. But as far as like designing, illustrating, photo retouching, and all that stuff, AstroPad, the iPad, and your computer, and you're good. Now, the same people, AstroPad, came out with this thing, and this is a beta model. They did a Kickstarter for this thing. So you plug this into your computer, and now it extends your desktop. So now you have all the pressure sensitivity of your iPad, and you have an external monitor. This is the beta version. They actually have the real one coming out soon. And I think they're probably shipping in the next couple weeks. So I did the Kickstarter, and then they asked me to beta test, and it was legit. It works. So now they're coming out with an update to AstroPad. Whoa! I remember when my iPad used to work.
You lost.
So anyway, yeah, you can totally do that. Now, the drawbacks are that, like, if you wanted to do like an extended desktop type of thing, you need to find little goofy things like this that'll let you use it. Otherwise, you're stuck to whatever you see here is happening on the iPad. Also, the iPad is a lot smaller than, say, a 24-inch, 27-inch, and now they have like the 32-inch Cintiqs that are completely nuts.
Oh, my friend has one of those too, and it's like the size of this table that I have. It's just gigantically huge. It's nuts, and
yeah. So if you need that extra real estate, the iPad's probably going to drive you crazy.
Sure, I get it because like I'm using this right now. I actually bought this. This is an XP pen. I actually bought this over at the Animation Expo. No,
cool.
Because I used to have a N202, like a big 12 by 12 just box thing and I kind of hated carrying my laptop bag and then this giant bag just for that around. So I wanted to downgrade to something a little bit smaller. Now it kind of sucks because I did really enjoy having the full like room moving, like, you know, drawing around. I've been having you know, it's good for what this is. For I only paid like $75 for it. So honestly, like, if you're on a budget crunch, this is definitely like I do recommend it. If you can get yourself like a new one, especially, but even a used like Cintiq or Wacom, I would still say go with Wacom. The pen nibs on here. Well, first off, I did not even know this, but Wacom apparently patented the erasing function on their stylus, so no other company can, like, this doesn't erase, which is weird because that's a Wacom thing, specifically Wacom. So
that's crazy.
The nibs on here aren't really all that great. They're very wiggly for some reason. Like whenever I draw, like, and you know, if I do a little drawing session, you'll probably see a bunch. But like whenever I draw, it makes these like just hard black dots whenever I use a draw. And I've only had this since when was the Animation Expo? It was like June. It was June.
Late June.
Yeah, so I've only had this for about like a little over a month, and I'm already on my second pen because I had to replace it.
Oh my god.
Yeah, like it fell on the ground once. It wasn't even from a big height. I was sitting in the chair, and then like the nib the pen was just like broken. I don't know if like what the quality was.
Oh no.
All in all, though, I mean, you know, I give this like a 6 out of 10 or something. But XP pen for how much it costs, and you can even get a smaller version, like, you know, maybe like half the size for like $30. So really, you can't really compare this. You know, in a way, it's kind of like that. You kind of get what you pay for. But excellent customer service. It sounds like I was duped into like having to like give my review on this, but no, I'm actually just, you know, for anyone who's out there looking to draw, even though a couple people aren't artists on their little chat room thing, but for anyone who's looking for, like, you know, to get their first, it's definitely a great first too, their first drawing tablet or something. Yeah, XP Pen is pretty damn affordable, but there's gonna be you know, slight drawbacks to it if you're someone like me who's used to drawing digitally for like you know, like 10 years plus.
Yeah, and that's just it. Like if you're on a budget, maybe you just need some technology to help you deliver something on a project or whatever. XP Pen is a really good way to go.
But yeah, do Wacom.
If you're used to drawing on a Wacom, you're going to no, there's a big difference.
Yeah,
there's not only a big difference in the price, but the technology as well.
Well, yeah, absolutely, the technology. I mean, I've been using Cintiqs for I would say a couple months now, and I mean, I've used a Cintiq before, but like I actually have my own like Cintiq now, and again, you know, because I downloaded High Sierra, it was no longer compatible, so I had to thank God I still had my old laptop, my old MacBook, where I can download the driver on that, which needed to be upgraded as well. And that I needed to upgrade my old laptop as well. But I mean, like, you know, Cintiq, I mean, they came up with all this stuff. They came up with like drawing on. I'm assuming that they came up with Wacom, however you say it. They came up with drawing on the monitors. So, you know, their quality is top notch, to say the least. And, you know, you definitely do get what you pay for, even if it's like used. You know, like there's people who sell Cintiqs, for I don't know. My friend picked up
hundreds.
Oh, so yeah, I mean, a lot of them are going a little bit over 1,000. Some like in the high hundred, high like near 1,000. But my friend picked like kind of like maybe like I think it was like maybe like 5 years old or something, 6 years old for like $400, and it works perfectly. So I mean, if you look at
and that's the thing about Wacom too, is their stuff never breaks. So people are like, well, they're kind of shooting themselves in the foot because they have such high quality that no one is going back to buy new stuff that much.
Yeah.
Which to me, if they didn't do that, I would be a little less likely to buy from them.
Well, that's where here's the kicker though. And it was really a little bit disappointing of Wacom when I reached out to them because, and for anyone who's listening out there and planning on buying a Cintiq, be sure that the driver you are about to download for that Cintiq is compatible with your current laptop, because I have High Sierra, and my friend, very kind enough, my friend Woody, gave me his Cintiq, just said, here, because I'm working on a little show with them. And he says, the trade will be, have my old Cintiq. And the Cintiq cool. Did not work, but it did not work with High Sierra because for some reason Wacom updated most of their drivers and did not update some of their drivers. And that specific model, which was like a 21UX DKZ, I think it was called DKZ 2100. They didn't make a driver for that, and I was just like, oh, you guys on your website, you guys upgraded all of these drivers just because this one happened to be a year older or something. I don't know. They just said, yeah, we're not going to make a driver for that one compatible. And I'm just like, dude, that really kind of bugged me because now it's just a big paperweight. If I didn't have my old laptop, it would have been a big paperweight to just have. It would just be a nice giant screen, actually, if anything. So anyone looking to buy a Cintiq, a used one, just double check the driver on the Wacom website and make sure that that your computer is capable of downloading it. FYI.
That's a good tip.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I didn't even think about it. I got my Cintiq. I went on Craigslist. I was watching this guy animate on Twitch. He was animating in Adobe Animate. I can't wait for them to switch that back to Flash. But he was animating in Animate, and he talked about how he wanted to get a Cintiq, and he went on Craigslist and he found one. And so I was like, well, cool. So I went and did a search on Craigslist, and I found one, and I got I think this is like a 24-inch. I got it for like $1,200.
Okay.
And it works like a charm. Everything is good. I didn't pay damn near $2,000 for it, which made me happy.
Right.
So
yeah.
Where there's a will, there's a way.
Charlie, we were just talking about like buyers beware for anyone who wants to buy a Cintiq. I was just telling them because I ran into this this issue that the Cintiq that I had was no longer supported by High Sierra for a MacBook. So luckily, I had my old MacBook, which I downloaded the driver for that, and I mean it works now. But it would suck for someone who's like yeah, I just bought this used Wacom the Cintiq for like $600, and it's like, oh well, does your laptop work with it? And it doesn't, and it's like no refunds. They're screwed. So.
Yeah, I've heard of a lot of like instances where things mess up with that. They really kind of dropped the ball with that new update because a lot of things just break. I found.
Well, that happens with kind of no matter what you do. Technology is technology. So basically, Apple says we're coming out with a new operating system, and whoever their trusted partners are, they get a sneak peek, I guess, if you will.
Yeah.
So then they can go through and they can update their drivers and stuff. And sometimes there's just people that are busy.
Yeah.
So they don't update the drivers, but it's not like there won't be an updated driver or whatever. You just, the sucky part is you have to sit and wait for that to happen. But that happens with kind of everything, like printers and everything. So basically, this is a super pro tip. If you're working on a project, whether it's an animation, 3D project, whatever, and people are talking about, oh, this new update to the operating system, la, la, la. Hold off until you deliver your project.
Yeah, I agree.
Because a lot of times software will act crazy.
Yeah, that's true.
So just relax. It's okay. You'll be fine. You know,
I'm such
the group FaceTime calls. It'll be there when you're done. Just relax. So, Mike, you were talking about how you use Cintiqs and all this stuff to create stuff. Yeah. What is it that you currently do?
Currently, I to make a living, I am a freelancer. Kind of like they say, like the jack of all trades. I say like I'm the master of what I do. And character designing, I do character designing, for like 2D based animation, TV animation. And lately I've actually, not lately, but for the past, I would say 4 years, I've been doing storyboarding. But we'll get to that in a second. I've started illustrating, just drawing Garfield. I used to trace Garfield comics when I was a kid. Because I used to buy. I don't know if you guys remember, but like Garfield, they came out with like those series of like little books.
Yeah.
Garfield, volume 1, volume 2, volume. Then it came out to like volume, like I don't know. There's so many of them now, I'm sure. And I used to get onion paper that my dad would. He just have a big thing of like onion paper, and I would trace over it, over like the comics, and that was like probably like my first time like actually like I felt like, wow, look what I can draw. Obviously, I was tracing, and then in high school, after playing like 9 years of basketball and realizing, boy, I suck. High school is when I kind of find out that, my artistic talents is kind of like that. I kind of found my talent right there with like that. I'm actually capable of like busting out like just drawings from like my imagination or whatever, and I kind of just stuck with that. And I still wasn't certain on like what I want to do with that art, like with that talent, until and I watched a ton of cartoons. And so watching cartoons, grew up watching cartoons, I still do. Like that definitely started pushing me in the direction. But seeing Gorilla's Clint Eastwood video is what made me think like, holy shit, this is awesome. I want to do this.
Yeah.
And
yeah, that's a good one.
I mean, they're like my favorite. They're my favorite band, and their animation just to boot, like really, it just kind of defines on why I want to do like what I want to do. None of my work looks like anything from the creators of Gorillas, but and there goes my.
There it is.
Oops.
Episode 150 will break things.
Yeah. Everclear 150 just spilled everywhere. No. Anyways, I'll dry up later. Anyways, where was I before I made a big mess? Yeah. So, basically, I do what I do now is just because of that band, really. And as I was saying, like none of my stuff looks like anything that you would see from Gorillaz, but it was just kind of like, is inspiration enough. Like it was kind of like the straw that broke the camel's back that made me want to just dive into all the stuff that I wanted to do. So yeah, right now, currently, I'm doing mostly just commissions for personal use, or like even small like companies or whatever. Someone who needs like a character, I need a character of a devil for my energy company or something, which is something that I did actually. So like, and I'll do these these illustrations like you see of Trump right there, and that's just kind of like what I like. That's kind of like what I've been doing lately. It's just kind of like standalone illustrations. I do this all on Photoshop.
This is the one that I have hanging on my wall, by the way.
Yeah, it's a lovely frame too.
Very. Thank you. It's crooked. Hang on.
But yeah, in terms of like animation, that's storyboarding is what I want to use my talents with when it comes to like animation. I went to school for animation. I went to CSUN, and I animated my first. It was the only time I ever animated like a 1 minute long cartoon, and it was a pain in the ass. I was just like, this is, and I used Flash for it. Because when you said like I can't wait till they bring back Flash, I was like, no, keep it out.
Oh,
but
are you?
I know.
It's been nice knowing you, Mike.
I know. I've been really
Mike too.
Carl's like, why did I bring this son of a bitch on?
Right.
But like, you know what?
Cool, dude.
Here's what I liked about storyboarding, and what I realized about myself is that I have all these ideas that I've always wanted to like animate, and I realize animating is hard. But it's not animating. It's the story that I've always wanted to tell.
Mm-hmm.
It's a story. It's a whole story that would be a pain in the ass for one person to actually animate. So I figured, okay, what can I do? And like the first big project that I ever did was create a children's book. I didn't do the writing for it. I did the illustrations for it. But I'm kind of using that. I'm factoring in like what I would work on for children's books, and just kind of make that into like into storyboarding. And storyboarding, obviously, it's really rough sketches, rough designs that you use for as opposed to making a children's book.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing more importantly is that you convey the story that you came up with. And yeah, man. I mean, like that's cool. And because of it, I've not animated. I've storyboarded several, like even like my own stories. That I got around to storyboarding. So I mean, it's definitely kind of like the secondary solution for people who want to become animators. And realized, yeah, this is kind of tough. Storyboarding is kind of like the second thing. It's a lot more in demand.
Yeah.
So this one, what you're looking at right now, is a pilot that I worked on called. It was just called Cups. I think for now it just got shelved, as a lot of cartoons do, as I found out. But as you can see, well, it's about cups, and
cups are angry.
Like what the writers were asking me on this one, they were saying like, because at first it was just like cups. Like, how do you make a show about just two inanimate objects that you see every day? It just comes in like the facial expressions that they were looking for, and they when you add emotion to your characters and contrast to two characters, like it definitely does bring them to life.
Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm. Totally.
Yeah.
What were you using for this animatic? What software?
Again, at the time I was using Photoshop because I didn't have Storyboard Pro.
Yeah.
But I mean, we put it into Storyboard Pro afterwards, and
cool.
But yeah, everything, because I have a Storyboard template on Photoshop, and I pretty much did it all in there.
How did you do it in Photoshop though? What?
Yeah. I had a storyboard template that I scanned actually eons ago, and I think it was just like a three panel template,
mm-hmm.
and yeah, and pretty much what they did is it looks like they just kind of cropped each panel and just made just put it into an animatic, and I'm guessing they use Storyboard Pro for that.
Okay.
But yeah, this was I think maybe about 2 years ago. There's another one. We may see it that I just did a few months ago. It's based off Aesop Fables, The Wolf and the Lamb. And I think, yeah, there is the link. The link is in there. That I did on Storyboard Pro. And the funny thing about that was I was using the trial version of Storyboard Pro, the 21-day trial. And here's the thing with Storyboard Pro is that it is easy to pick up. I'm not going to say like I'm a pro at it. Like there's still a lot of things I want to learn. But the fact that I did it all in 21 days with like, little camera effects and cuts and stuff, that kind of shows that, and especially if you're a little tech savvy, you can definitely get the hang of it. But yeah, with this one though, again, I've worked on some storyboards. Some of them are, we end up boarding, and they even have like voices and stuff to it too. I know you can't hear any sound on it, but yeah, then that's just from what I've been.
Add the link in the show notes.
From what I've heard from Steven Silver, especially, he's another artist who's definitely turned me on into wanting to do like what I want to do, especially with character designing. He would always he has his like own little YouTube vlogs, and he would always talk about like a lot of things, just get shelved in the industry, whether it's from anything like a private project like what I worked on to even just like working at Warner Brothers, like he did. I think he did character designs for the Goonies, and which would have been an awesome freaking concept, and it got shelved. So I mean, like I'm kind of like used to that idea of just things, there's projects that just don't always go, but that's just kind of the name of the game when it comes to animation, and I'm ready for that. Right now I freelance, but I'm still kind of trying to break into. I'm still trying to break into the industry. Hence why I was over at the Animation Expo, and I met some really awesome people there.
How did that go for you? Yeah.
So yourself. How did that go for me? That was my first time. I was kind of shitting bricks. Getting just like, but it was me both. It was super cool though, man. I enjoyed. I was kind of bummed out. Like it was like, oh god, it's only 2 days long. I was hoping it was, but not hoping. But I mean, it would have been great if it was like just like an extra day, And I definitely want to keep doing more of it though. Yeah, and I the person who I sat next to, specifically to my right, was Peter Paul, and he is a storyboard artist over, I think right now over at Warner Brothers.
Perfect for you. Yeah.
He did, but before that, I think he was over at DreamWorks. God, he might still be there. I'm not sure, but he did like a Train Your Dragon 2. He did Lilo and Stitch 2. He animated some scenes in Space Jam. So
okay.
He's responsible for our childhood in a way. And yeah, just super nice people though, like I met up with him a little later for a week later for coffee, because I was asking him like, hey, can you look at like some of my storyboards, like when you have the chance. This is over at the Animation Expo, and he's like, yeah, sure, of course, And I see some other people coming up to him asking him like, look at his storyboard, like at their storyboards, and he would be very brief with them. And I was like, okay, I don't want to do that with him. I don't want to like be brief with him. It's either, I feel a little bit guilty as it was to like already ask him. So
yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So, well, like I was kind of like getting used to like the idea, like, okay, he may not look at it, but I still want to chat with him, because he's I've been neighboring with him for the past couple of days. So when it came to breaking down our booths and everything, I helped him take everything from his booth to his car. We were chit-chatting for about like almost an hour, just about exhibiting like over at like conventions and Comic-Cons and stuff.
Yeah.
And finally, in the end, like he said, like, yeah, I usually go to the Starbucks, around Burbank, and he asked if I wanted to meet up with him, and he said that he looked at my storyboard. And I wasn't even trying to plan on anything. I wasn't even like trying to like expect that out of him.
I thought you just gonna get an email back, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not the
out of office email.
Huh?
You thought you were gonna get the out of office email?
No, he just thought he didn't get like an email response maybe when he gets the chance. He didn't think he had to be sitting there while he does it, which is great.
But it goes to show that it's if you make contact with industry professionals and not just like you kind of use them just to look at your stuff, like if you actually give them your time and like show that you're just more than you're talking to them more than expecting anything from them,
right?
Like they will say, like they will actually want to be interested in like looking at your stuff,
right?
So yeah, and I got some great feedback from him. So anyways,
that's really cool.
That's good.
Yeah, so to answer your question, storyboarding and character designing is what I'm up to.
We got the whole history.
Yeah. Seriously.
Where did you grow up?
I grew up right here in lovely Burbank, entertainment capital of the world.
Oh.
Yeah. Which is funny.
That's cool.
Everyone always asks, like, after especially knowing, like, telling what I do, they always, like, the first thing they ask is, like, oh, are you going to work for Disney? And I was like, Jesus, like, it'd be like graduating from, like, a public high school and it's like, oh, you're going to college? Where are you going to go to? Harvard?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, you're naming, like, the top-tier animation studio. And then, like, don't get me wrong. If they wanted to hire me, yes. But
exactly.
I'm also, like, I'm not just limiting myself to just Disney or like Pixar or DreamWorks. I'm just going out. I'm trying to build up a reputation for myself with just like whether it's smaller studios or just personal projects. And I just kind of I'm like right now currently I was working on a pitch Bible for 2 shows. Well, hopefully that we want to pitch to actually eventually. And the first one we want to pitch to Netflix. It's called Slashers. My role on that was storyboarding. I did some background designs, and we were going to do an animatic, and we realized it's just going to be way too long just to do because it was just like 4 of us, like 5 of us, like working in like a bedroom of a house. So we ended up just making a pitch Bible.
Yeah.
And the second one that I'm working on right now is called Goobers. And you can actually look these guys up. If you just look up Goobers with a Z at the end, they're on YouTube. And that has been around for, I would say, about a few years now. We've just kind of redesigned the characters. But it was my first time redesigning the characters. They kind of had their own style. And that's going to be kind of cool because it's going to be like a little hybrid of what they call like a mockumentary. And it's going to be kind of like real life.
Just them?
Yep, that's them right there. And they're going to be using like real like whether it's photos or real hand recorded stuff, like hand recorded videos, and just have the characters animated within like the real real recordings. So yeah, you're not going to see a lot of cartoons recently. There are some old cartoons that if you scroll back into the video playlist, you'll find some old few-minute cartoons. Oh geez, is this like a different YouTube version? I think they have a different channel because they just have songs on there. Here, let me see if I can try to find it up, pull it up.
Okay.
Or even if anything, look at their
a couple different versions.
Yeah, I mean you can see even if you look up. Yeah, when I pull up the YouTube channel for the other Goobers channel, you'll see that the quality has kind of changed. Okay, my computer's freaking out on me right now.
It's that damn driver.
It's that damn stupid High Sierra rubbish.
It's like a high C drink.
Yeah, don't download High Sierra if you have a 2012. And that's my fault for having an old laptop anyways, too. So, I mean, you know.
There you go.
Don't worry, Carlos. I'm not blaming you anymore.
There you go.
I still love you, man.
You saw how it's just
Right, so, yeah, I mean, so...
quiet until it went away.
Yeah.
Noel said, in other words, don't fangirl it like Carlos.
Oh.
And they're living in their friend Gary's junkyard, like a little shack in the junkyard. That's like I think that's their home / recording studio. and yeah, you know, I mean, so that's pretty much like the gist of it right there, is that they're just kind of like trying to be up and comers and
to make it. Yeah.
God, there's like so many goobers channels. I didn't even know this. Oh, why can't I find some of their old cartoons? That's kind of weird. I'm gonna have a little chat with them. What's going on with you guys?
Mm-hmm.
This must be it right here. The one with the panda bear wearing clothes.
It's always a good sign.
Dirty
Panda bear in
panda.
clothes. Dirty. Yo, no.
Okay, shit. You know what? It's I don't know what happened. I wonder if they got rid of it, because they just had it not too long ago. Like on. Well, here's what I'll do. They better be thinking my ass, because I'm giving them a shout out right now. They got quite a bit of followers. So here's like a little sample of like the style that they want to do, you know. And I don't even know if you're gonna hear
Yeah, you can hear.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, that's one of the characters that it's their original characters, but what they're using right now is Character Animator. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with that program.
Yeah.
Let me get myself up there. Yeah, and I'm still. I mean, I don't even have the program. I just watched them use it, and it's pretty awesome. Like, just literally movement of mouth, your blinking eyes. So the only show that does that right now, to my knowledge, is the Stephen Colbert's Donald Trump show, and they use basically it's just assets of the characters. And yeah, so that's kind of like the route that we're gonna want to go with, is using character animator for this show Goobers.
That sounds cool.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, character animators.
Yeah, have you used that lately, Carlos?
Yeah, I was using it for kind of like some proof of concepts, really.
Yeah, I haven't used
for
it much, but I know about it. Yeah.
But yeah, I was using it for. There's this guy that reached out to me, was like, "Yo, I got this idea. Can you help me do it?" And you know, you really have to be careful when it comes to doing these proof of concepts for people, because okay, I was going to pull it up now, but instead, this is what I'll do. Get out of here.
Where'd you go?
Yeah, we're seeing a black screen. There you go.
Hold up. Am I back?
Yep, you're back.
Yeah. Okay. So let me do this. Instagram.
The Graham.
Your buddy Noel just called you a fangirl, Carlos.
I know. It happens.
I love how like Mike's checking it late, so it's like she said it twice. It's great.
It's just like
you'll read it and then it'll come back and open the wound again.
Yeah.
Was this like said like an hour ago? I'm just kind of like
no, not too long ago, but yeah. Oh, yeah, okay. So this is character element.
So yeah, this is what.
Oh, okay.
Oh, hi. Cartoon Carlos here. I have a very important art tip for you today. If you're using a computer to make art, go ahead and make sure it's plugged in. It works so much better. Oh, and if it's plugged in and it still doesn't work, go ahead and turn it on.
Yeah, so that's
a great idea, dude. I never thought of that.
Yeah.
I like how you actually did your background too. Like you redrew everything.
Yeah.
Where's my dance?
Papa poopity poo, papa poopity pow, la la la. Oh, hi! Cartoon Carlos here with yet another life hack. If we're hanging out, having fun, don't pick a fight with a UFC fighter. I can't help you against a UFC fighter. Want to know why? Because UFC fighters hang with other UFC fighters, and I think it's completely irresponsible for everyone to get a beatdown just because you can't handle your Zimas. So if we're hanging out and a UFC fighter grabs you by the face and mushes you to the ground, we'll see you on World Star.
That's true. That's one of the websites we're going to cater to goobers is World Stars. So
nice. Yeah.
Were you just improvising all that or what?
Yeah. And then here's no, those aren't videos. But anyway, whenever someone shows up with a good idea but no budget, I try to find a way to do something to help deliver on that if I see that it has potential.
Sure.
Noel says so many comments. Yeah, because I'm not going to spend way too much time trying to do something for no pay. Those days are gone. I don't move unless you got checks. But
yeah,
boom.
It's
bang bang.
That's kind of like what I've that's what I do like right now. Like as a freelancer is I mean, as a freelancer, obviously you got to get paid, But I worked on these shows without any pay, as everyone in the room did.
Sure.
Just because it's kind of just more of like something that you invest your time in really, and you just kind of hope something comes out of it, so you can make buku bucks on it
if it has potential.
Mm-hmm.
If it has potential, but the thing is, don't. And I know that this is easier said than done, but don't waste too much time on someone else's ideas.
Right.
Oh no, yeah, totally right. I've never really been one in creating my own. Does Charlie see something?
Charlie, you're muted.
There it is. Okay.
There we go.
I was just looking. I'm like, yeah, I've never really been one to like create my own like content. I've always kind of like relished bringing other people's stuff to life. I know that sounds kind of weird, but like it's first off, it already shows teamwork right there, because it's like I'm a writer, but I have no art skills, and it's like, oh well, let's pair up and see what we can do with this. I don't do it very often though. This is actually the only time I've only used my time to contribute to making a cartoon, and these are with people who I've known. They're friends of mine anyway, so I mean, I'm comfortable. I know they're not gonna like screw me out or anything.
Right.
Sure.
But yeah, otherwise, like when it comes to like freelancing, like I'm always like on top of that. Like I always make sure that they sign a contract. If it's going to be like for like a business, like you've probably been seeing some of the Simpson commissions that I've been doing, which have been taken off like wildfire lately. I don't have them sign a contract for that because it's personal work, and I don't charge nearly as much as I would if it's like someone who wants a logo or someone who wants like a piece of like an illustration or something that they're going to be using it for like marketing. And I don't do like royalties or like percentage off sales or anything. So I just kind of add in a flat rate.
So a flat fee, yeah.
Yeah, exactly, a flat fee. And there was one time, and I'm totally ready to expose him right now. So you guys are gonna see some drama here right now.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. So yeah, there was this guy. Get ready for this, man. Oh, and it's been bothering me for such a long time. Even on days when I did work with this guy. He's a French dude, and little shisty at first for about like last year. And I had him sign, a contract. And he asked me like, can you like design these 2 characters? It's gonna be for my energy company. And I want like 2 designs of like the same character. I'm like, yeah, sure. Here's what I'm gonna charge, and here's a contract. Half on. I always ask for half up front or whatever, and then half on final delivery.
Sounding good so far. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, in the middle of and this is where freelancing is a trial and error process. In the middle of this, he asked me to do 2 more drawings of the characters, and I said, okay, I'll let you know what that's gonna cost. And he says, don't worry about it, whatever it's gonna cost, I'll pay. I'm like okay, I figured I'll just kind of add on, like, whatever I'm charging him for this, I'll charge him the same price.
Get that change order.
Oh, but it just got more complicated. Like he would ask me to do other jobs in the middle of this one. Like, oh, can you design like a small circle logo of this? Okay, can you do this? Like, can you make the name of my company now? He kept on adding all this shit in, and so finally, when it came to the final invoice, the price wasn't what we agreed on. It was more because of all the extra stuff.
Right.
And he flipped out on the fact that I charged him, especially more so for the additional 2 drawings of the characters. And he thought like, I don't see the value, and because he was all talking, like saying that he's going to he wanted to put his logos of what I drew on like NBA jerseys, and he had all. He said he was all talk. Like I knew people who in NFL, I knew people in the sports, and I knew people, these celebrities and all this stuff. They'll make you very famous and make you thousands and thousands. And he complained over, I think really it was like an extra like, I think like 200 or something, because that's what I was charging like for the characters, which is still not that much really, but that was like, when I was, and then he actually called back and he apologized, and we actually finally like agreed on it, as he should. Yeah. And I told him like, look, man, like you can't be coming up to me like that, or not coming up, but like you can't be chewing me out over the phone like that. If we're gonna be doing work in the future, you can't be adding extra work in the middle of something. We got to talk about this as a separate thing, sign separate contracts and stuff. So now we're going to a year later, which is back in this past April. And I did a job for him where he wanted me to draw him actually. It's him, flames in the background. It was just just it was a tacky drawing, but I'm not going to question it. Like whatever you want me to draw, I'll draw it for you. You know.
Right.
Rainbows and flames.
You got checks.
Here's what happened. A month prior to that, someone reached out to me to have a logo for me to draw a logo for their company. They recommended this guy recommended me to this other friend of his, and so I did the job for his friend, and that worked out just fine. Now, when I did the job for this French guy, when I showed him like the final the final image
rendering,
just a screen.
Oh,
Come back.
Tell us the story.
Right when it was getting good.
When he showed him the final rendering.
Once he probably
once the internet
plug his laptop on. But these are stories that happen all the time. And listen, if there's anything that you guys ever learn from listening to us, always have things in writing.
Yep.
Don't move a muscle until some sort of money has been sent and the check has cashed. Listen to me when I tell you, I have been there where someone wrote a check, I gave them the files, and then they took back the check. The bank said that the check cleared, and then the bank said that they took the check back. And then the bank said, I don't understand what just happened, but it just happened. I was like, where's my money? I'm about to start flipping over furniture. Where's my money?
Right. And then hey, welcome back. And in the middle of a contract work, if they want to change anything.
Hang on, Mike.
It's always called a change order.
Yeah,
that's at that point. It's like, yeah, we can do that for you. We'll do a change order, and then like you remodify the contract, or you add on addendum to the contract, and then once you do that, you then schedule up the proper scheduling for that, right? Because like, do you want me to stop on this and we pick this up? Do you need this right now? What is the schedule for this? And then that's when you lay out all the money, and you always take a beat, right? Don't ever do it. Don't ever talk. Don't ever agree to stuff in the meeting if you don't really have to. Take a beat. Say I want to go back. I want to check my schedule.
Always say
do all that stuff. Always, because you want to give yourself time.
You should always have some sort of partner that's going to look at things too. Let me run this by my partner.
Yeah, your lawyer, whatever. When it's over.
Stuff like that always comes in handy.
It helps. I really want to write the change order up for you so that like I have everything captured that you needed, so we can get that going and keep this whole process moving. More work is great, but let's just go ahead and capture this so that it's organized and then we get that stuff out on time. So then, because then it sounds like you just want to be professional. It's not like not aggressive and anything like that.
And it's inevitable. Mike has been doing freelance work for quite a long time, and it happens to him. People try to have it happens to me too. But the thing is, you always have to get the contract should reflect the job that you're doing, and the job that you're doing should be covered in the contract.
Right.
When they start asking you to do extra things, you let them know it's going to, and it's inevitable. But
it's something that naturally happens.
All of these business people are trying to take advantage of creatives. And we, generally speaking, are very kind-hearted people. We just want to work and maybe get a little bit of extra money, whatever it is that we're doing, and we just want to get this stuff done. But you have to take a look at the work that you're doing the same way that they're doing it, and don't let anyone tell you, oh, this should be fast. Well, if it's fast, then why are you doing it? Why aren't you doing it? Right? So then go ahead, Mike.
So you picked up, you gave him the rendering, and then what happened?
Okay, so I gave him so I showed him the screenshot. And then he approved it all. He approved the proofs. I sent him the invoice.
Sweet.
And I can't remember what it was. Let's just say it was like $1,000.
Okay.
And he's like, "Ooh, how about this?" And this is the price that we agreed on. But see, here's the thing. Here's where I fucked up is that the only time I did do a contract. And that's where I fucked up. And so that's people out there freelancing. Make your own documents, your own contracts. But so I figured I'd known this guy for a year. Other than that first little hiccup, we did continue doing small jobs between this last one, between then and this last one. Mm-hmm. So he he saw the invoice and he says, the first thing he says, he didn't even ask. He says, I'm gonna give you, $900. And I'm like, okay, why? Nice. Agreed. And he's like, oh, because I hooked you up with my friend. I got you a job through my friend, a little job. So I'm like, oh, so like that's
so you're taking a finder's fee off.
Yeah, so it's like,
okay, cool. That'll work. Cool.
Yeah, I'm just like, you think that deserves you a little discount? And I'm like, 100. I mean, plus you're taking like you're just slicing a small little amount off of like the original of like what I'm charging you. And so still, I'm just like, look, if it's gonna be that big of an issue, let's just meet halfway, like, and say like $950 or something. And to which he agreed on. This is back in April. And he fell off the face of the earth.
Oh, he ghosted you.
I reached out to him so many times, and he's even read the text.
He doesn't.
So this is like me saying, yo, if he somehow ever listens to this, you know who I'm talking about. You know who you are.
Yeah.
And I'm moving on, man. You effed up.
Do you know where you live?
Yeah. Do I know where he lives? Well, I know. But yeah. So people out there.
Yeah, like, and things get really, really, really goofy with international.
Yes, for sure.
So you really have to be careful.
Well, like, he does have a home here in Los Angeles.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because he's living the high life right now, but apparently he can't afford to pay, a couple of pennies on the dollar.
No, he can't because he's got a place in France and he's got a place in LA. Why the hell is he going to pay you?
Exactly. Well, yeah, he was making I just moved in and I didn't know mortgage was going to be so high and all this stuff.
Yeah, you did.
Like, what do you mean you didn't know mortgage was going to be high? Like, have you ever bought a house in your life? Do you know anything about Los Angeles, dude? You didn't know mortgage was going to be high in Los Angeles?
Yeah.
What an idiot.
Just lip service. Yep.
Yeah. Get out of here.
So,
you just didn't want to pay.
I have a contract on my on like my desktop that I always keep handy with me, and like just before I ever do anything,
Yeah.
Did you? There's a design company in Chicago who has a contract that's super, super simple, super, super cool. It says, we're going to make cool stuff. You're going to pay us to make cool stuff.
That's it?
That's it. That's it.
And hey, you know what? Why not? More power to them. I mean, why it, sometimes I think maybe what I say can have some people running for the hills because it sounds like super serious, like, oh, I gotta talk to my lawyer about this because you own the rights to this and I can't use this for, it's like, and I try to really dumb it down for them in a way. It's like, I can only use it to showcase, I don't profit off it except for what you're paying me. Right. You can use it for whatever you want, like, especially if it's going to be made into merchandising. It's like, you can do whatever you want with it. Just let me say, hey, that drawing that you see on that billboard, I did that.
I did that. Yeah.
What were you saying?
No. I was just reiterating what you said.
Mm.
You know, and that's super, super cool of you to do. Business people will say, well, you're kind of a dumbass for, but I'm like you. I'm going to give you artwork. You give me money. Give me what I'm asking you for, and that's all I'm going to ask you for. I'm exactly that same way. I don't want to have to track down, ask you how much money you made off of my drawings and stuff like that. Just give me what I'm asking you for.
You know, it really is. It's just, you know, I really don't understand. And I see some people, I've never been slapped in the face. I think that was the only time I've ever been like actually kind of like slapped in the face was with this guy. But otherwise, I've every job I've done, I've for the past, like, I would say since like 2011 or something, because the 2011 was like my first actual big job, which was designing, doing a children's book.
Yeah.
From there to up till now, with the exception of the French guy, all my clients have been super cool. They've been even just swollen up to even just spread, you know, word of mouth, and that's honestly that's how you make it as a freelancer. It's just part of it is just by people like recommending you to others, or recommending others to you, I should say. But I've seen some people like on like my Facebook, like other artists that I follow, saying like just had these horrible encounters with people who are just like, you know, hey, I need a job. I need someone to make a very quick logo or something, and they give them the price, and it's like, geez, that's how much, like, you know, you draw every day, you know, for free, like, you know, why are you charging this much? And it's so dumb. It's
because you're going to be the one that's making money off of this, not me.
Yeah.
And don't tell me what the hell to do with my time.
It's like, oh, I see. It's like going up to a mechanic and like saying, like, dude, I see you working on your car all the time. Like, why can't you work on mine? You know, it drives me nuts. It's just like, would you ever ask like a plumber, if a plumber were to come to your house, fix your pipes, and you say like, oh, hey, can I? I'll pay. You know, instead of paying you, like I'll give credit to you. I'll tell others about you. Like, you can't, like,
give you some good publicity.
I told my friend that you're a really good roto rooter, so
yeah, right.
I'm gonna go ahead and
take out 10%,
dollars.
20% on the top, yeah.
But like but that never happens though. Like with like everyday shit, like plumbers and mechanics, like you never say like, oh, you know, I don't have the money, but let me give you the credit though where it's due. But only with, like, usually with artists do they do that with, like, you like, yeah, I mean, when I say artists, I mean like also like musicians or something like that, or like writers. Sure. Like I you know, I don't, and I see this on Craigslist too, which bothers me because I used to, and I would get a lot of my jobs off Craigslist as well, which is not a bad thing because that's how I made a lot of like relations. But I see some people saying like, yeah, well, you know, we're looking for you know, a character designer, you know. I have like 8 characters that, you know, we need, you know, within the month. Budget is very low. I don't have enough right now, but I promise you will get credit though for it. And I'm thinking like the credit should be automatic. That, like, you shouldn't even have to mention that. Like, I know the credit's gonna be there. I'm gonna make sure that I credit myself. If you don't, I'll be posting this on Instagram.
Yeah, I can do that.
Exactly. Why are you even mentioning that you're going to give me credit? You know, like, plus credit's not going to pay the bills that I have over at my house.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly what Noelle said in the chat. She said, "You get what you pay for. If you want to be cheap, you get cheap in return."
For sure.
And
cheap work, you know, is what they say is, good work ain't cheap, and cheap work ain't good.
Right.
Yeah. And there's another thing that it's 3 circles, and it's good, fast, and cheap.
Yeah, pick 2.
But you only get 2.
Yep. I used to think that was only just for like cars. but that's pretty universal.
And this is something that I tell all young creatives all the time, especially in today's technology world. Everything is so easy to create your own thing or team up with someone to create your own thing. Because what's going to happen is, and this happens to me all the time now. So I have Sketch Zone. If you're watching me on Twitch today, I'm illustrating a kid's book. Jack and I have a kid's book. There's other cartoon goofiness that I'm doing too. That thing that you just saw, the life hacks, all that stuff. So I'm creating content at such a packed pace that I don't really have time to help anyone else with their stuff. So if you come to me and you need work done, you have to pay me to tear me away from the work that I'm doing. Because let me tell you, you might have a cool project, but it has to be really cool to be cooler than mine.
Yeah.
I look, I mean, that's
Noelle,
watch it.
Crazy.
She's on fire right now. She missed a week or two, and now she's just getting feisty. We're calling security.
You do a kid's book?
So yeah, like, or if you just want to hunt down work, go hunt down work, but you have to know the value of what you do.
Yeah,
sure.
If they could do it, they wouldn't need you.
Yeah, right.
They need you because they're about to make money. And if their idea is that good,
right,
they would be willing to pay for it.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's just that just goes with just being a freelance artist. It's
right.
You give yourself a base price, and I never do hourly, by the way. And I don't know if that's how you guys work, but hourly, just flat rates are just always the easier way to do. And I do give them a flat rate, but I also give them options too.
Right.
Like, here's my flat rate. Revisions will be an extra, $20, $25 per
and you
revision.
have to limit revisions.
3. They get 3.
Or 3 revisions. Or if it's like, you know what? If you want infinite amount, it's going to be this plus, $200 more, and that just covers any revisions that you may not have.
No infinite, because you'll be there. Because you'll go way past that $200 mark.
Here's another story with these infinite revisions. I was doing a motion graphics project for this company in Miami, and I was like, yeah, cool. They came to me and they were the one. They asked me for a quote, and then so I gave them one, and they're like, whoa.
They sound like
I know it was Trump.
That's what That's what everyone does when they're the ones that have to pay to get things done, right? Meanwhile, if you ask them for something, they're super hard line on their prices. Moving on. So I was like, we're gonna make this right. We're gonna make it good. La la la. So I'm doing the illustrations, and I'm when it comes to especially motion graphics, if you're not careful, the project can just be like a bowl of spaghetti, just all over the place.
Yep.
So these knuckleheads, I had one contact, and I was running things through him and the creative director. So I told them, I'm going to go through sketches. Then I'm going to go, once you approve those, I'm going to go into illustrating them, like actually making vector graphics out of them.
Okay.
And then the next step is bring them into After Effects and animate them and la la la. So that's the life of the project.
Iterative process.
But we're not going to move to the next step until you have approved everything that needs to be done. Because what's going to happen is if I illustrate all of these and then start animating them, then you guys want to make a change to the illustrations. Now I have to undo a lot of the animations that I've done.
Work.
Yeah.
Right.
Too much rework. Yeah, it's a nightmare.
Sweet baby Jesus, if it didn't happen that way. What happened was the project manager and the creative director all approved everything. I started animating. Then I started showing bits and pieces, the different scenes of the animations. They took that, they had a meeting, they showed the owner and a bunch of other knuckleheads that didn't know what the hell they were talking about. All of a sudden, everybody wanted to make changes.
Oh God, and this is why I, when I do, and by the way, I should have mentioned that I show sketches. I show rough sketches, concept sketches, before moving on to the final work.
Right.
In which case, if they do finally want like a change, like in their, whatever, the final draft, then that's when the revision price starts to kick in. It's rare that I do the infinite, amount of revisions. I just thought that was a good idea. Just
it depends on what it is. But the thing is, you have to be super, super anal, super, super controlling when it comes to that, right? Because otherwise, they're going to take advantage of it.
They're gonna want
That's true, yeah. Because they're not going to pay $200 or $500 extra for like an infinite amount of revisions, and then just settle on the idea that they just lost extra that amount of money.
And then what I found with clients and stuff like that when I'm sitting in on client meetings is that creative people think differently than normal people with ideas. If you've ever tried to do like some kind of event, like impromptu, event where there's a lot of people in the room and y'all have to come up with something, even if it's something as simple as organizing or what to have at a family picnic or a company picnic or a picnic with friends or something like that, or a public neighborhood like a block party or something where you have like an event that can be kind of creative in terms of what you're showing, and then you have a lot of different people that has to sign off on it, which is similar to you presenting in front of a client where maybe they have a creative director and they have stakeholders that they have to answer to, all that good stuff, right? Non-creative people tend to like think of pie in the sky type of ideas and stuff like that, and they're always thinking of the next, and especially if they want to try to be in the process of like helping you come up with this idea. So that's where that whole notion of feature creep comes into play, right? Where like
of what?
The whole notion of feature creep, or like creeping on your project creep, adding new, when I say feature creep, that means like adding new features to a project, right? If it's supposed to be blue, red, and green and have 4 aliens, well, you'll talk about how those three aliens look right, and that fourth one maybe should have like a twin sister or have a bobblehead on it or something. Or they'll watch something the night before, which will inform them because they thinking they're being creative. Well, I got to tell them to add this in there now because we got to have it like this. Or, studies have shown, if you get a really big company, they're always into like, trends analytics. They'll be like, well, studies have shown that like we need that alien we need to take out that color red and add this, even though we're 6 months into the project and, everything's red now and it's all animated, so like you have to like limit the amount of revisions to keep, the non-artists on track. Because as the artist, you're also the driving force of helping get the project done. So you're almost like, the unsung guide that helps guide your client into like a finished product, right? Because they're gonna want to add, everything, and they'll never get done.
Now, when that does happen, though, if someone just says like, hey, Charlie, we're gonna need to make these changes on this character and this and this and that. Do you let it be known right away, like, okay, this is going to charge you, or is that going to look a little bit unprofessional? Because
no, I don't. We don't let them write it up. No, right away. But like, it's cool. I have a studio manager who she's done project management, for years, and she's like a master at words. I call her a wordsmith in client meetings. I didn't understand it. So we always talk about parts of as an artist and what you can grow with. I think when doing this creative direction role at the place I'm at now, I've like grown in like how to communicate my ideas as an artist in order to get a project done, and how to talk to clients, because there's an art in that, right? And I think Carlos can attest to like this, and if Jack was here, he'd say the same thing. Where I've seen her like finesse her way through a meeting on the hardest nosed client that's like, you know, very, very snippy, very kind of mean, very like straightforward. And I want this, this, and this. And I've seen her like answer questions and like probe questions to the client in a way where like by the end of the meeting, we're back to our original thought, and the client thinks that they came up with the whole thing. You know, it's great. I don't know how, like, it's like, wow, you're like a client whisperer. It's crazy, you know, it's crazy. Ooh, write that down. Because you know, if you can get to the point where you can like, you know, it's all about communication. We talk about it each week, but if you get to the point where you can communicate your idea because you're the designer, you understand, you see how the product should end. You know, a lot of times all the extra revisions or the knee-jerk reactions of like, we need to change this color, we need to do this, it's just based off of them trying to make it the best it can be, even though they're not the artist, you know? Oh, sure. It's more of a confidence type thing and a reassurance. So after you kind of remind them, because we have what's called a deck, and we usually have an agenda in the meeting, which is always good to have an agenda, have things you're going to talk about, send stuff before a meeting happens. So if you have revisions, send that stuff a day before if you can, or, you know, even a couple hours before, so that, and then urge them to look at it, right? Sometimes they won't, but you know, if you can kind of preload them before the meeting, and then go through your agenda of, we're going to look at this, and this. These are what happened in the revisions. We have 4 revisions to show you today, and these are what we're going to show you. Would you guys like to get started? Let's get started. And you drive the whole meeting. You give time for them to ask questions, but at the same time, you're moving on. You don't let a lot of extra like talk go on, because then people start talking freely, and you know, you can say, cool, well, we can table that, and we can think about how that is. I can go back and talk to my team, or I can go back and take a look at that, and I'll get back to you on that one. I'll write it down here. I've already wrote it down. Let's go on and get these other 2 out the way so we can keep the meeting going. You keep the meeting going in a way that like forces them to get through all your revisions that you're trying to show off for or the piece you're trying to show off. And that way, at the end of that meeting, you can then start to say, cool, well, these are the things that we know we have to get done by this date. You remind them of their date or whatever. But then at the same time, you're like, I know you guys asked about this, this, and this. This is all good. If these are something you really want to go with, you know, make sure everybody's on board with that. I can fit those in for you guys, but that might mean we might need to do a change order or realign the schedule so that like those things can work for that based on the other projects I have coming down the pipe. They could be totally good, but I could totally do that as long as we realigned it and can send you over a change order. Sometimes that one change they want to do, or those 3 or 4 or 5 changes, is not worth them paying the extra money for it. So sometimes, yeah, it's kind of weird to bring up like, yeah, we can do that, but we'll have to charge you that based off the time it takes to make it. But at the same time, they're like, yeah, well, you know what, Charlie, I kind of liked, since you went through everything and we seemed like we're in a good spot, let's just keep it and maybe only do 1 or 2 things, and we can go ahead and attest to that, you know. So it can happen, you know, but sometimes it's the knee-jerk reaction of, yo, what do you guys think about that color, those jeans? Should we make them khaki? You know, like, wait, well, before we do that, let's table that. Let's get through the whole thing so you can see why it's like that. And then sometimes they're like, you know what, I kind of like them, you know, with jeans. You know, I've had it happen all the time.
It's why I have a hell of a lot of layers when I draw something, because if there's like, oh, I don't like that, put it on him.
Yeah, you can totally switch it up, but and at the same time you get like, cool, I'll write that down, let's keep going, let me show you the rest of the stuff, because I guarantee by the time you get to the end, and Carlos can tell you this, by the time you get to the end of your conversation, you show them everything, and you've let that like idea breathe for a good 2 or 3 minutes. You see how I was talking the whole time there and kept talking, kept filling spots, kept filling with more things. By the time you let it breathe, we'll say, yeah, you know, you was worried about those jeans, right? The khaki. And they're like, you know what? I think it's good, you know, because, you know, like I said, clients are like your mom or dad or somebody else. Like they're they're not creative. They don't. They go off reaction sometimes. Or yeah.
Not only that though, but it's like about 99% of the time, every client that I've worked with, they're never satisfied with like the first drawing. Like there's always going to be like a change.
Yeah.
And I'm always ready for that. I actually, if anything, I always anticipate it.
Right.
A few times where it doesn't happen, I almost want to be like, "Are you sure you don't want to have any changes? Are you like, are you satisfied? You're not just being nice." Like, no, I really like this. So I'm like,
okay, cool.
Okay, well, cool.
I've told many of people at work, like, "Yep, cool." They said yes. Move on.
Right.
Don't make them think that it's not right. You know.
What's the catch? What's the? Where are you getting? Where are you getting at?
Yeah,
but I mean, I'm always anticipating, any always revisions though, and that's just the name of the game. That's how you do it, I mean, it's a communication process, You're the idea maker, and you're the creator. So here's what I want. It's very rare that you nail that shit in the very first go,
right?
But I never, I never let myself finish a completed drawing without showing the client first. With commissions,
that's super smart.
With character commissions, for the most part, I don't really do that. Sometimes I will, especially if they ask me to. Like I'll show them like work in progress, but like for the most part, I really don't, just because it doesn't take as much time to do that as opposed to working on like an actual project for a small business or even a large business. And so like I'm very careful with that. Like I always like make sure to like dot my I's and cross my T's and just like show them like work in progress, and make sure that I don't, because how horrible would it be? And I'm sure there's some people who've done that, where you finish the whole thing and like, hey, do you like this? And they're like, it's not what I was looking for. I spent 10 hours on this thing.
Yeah.
Like, well, you could have spent 10 minutes just showing me the sketch of it, you fool. Now get back to work, asshole. By the way, I have a little window down here. I'm seeing this cute little conversation between Carlos and Noelle.
Yeah, she's a hater.
I don't know.
Why you keep poking the bear?
She started.
Well, we got all these people like hitting us up though. That's awesome. We got a nice.
The chat room comes in at different times. It's fluid, because of different time zones. People come in at different points. Yeah, it's really nice. But yeah, that's the main thing. It's like keeping the project going. I feel like as a designer, is your job in that meeting to inspire so much confidence in what you're doing, and as well as being accommodating in a way that, like, even if there is revisions, it should be kept to a minimum, so it's good.
It's I've enjoyed it, man. I remember my first the first thing I've always told myself is like, I want to work at an animation studio, and I still do, don't get me wrong. I mean, if anyone hears any openings, let me know.
Yeah, there it is.
We'll have to thumb wrestle.
Yeah, right? Hey man, you're next to Pixar.
I'll be your assistant. I'm not too proud.
You'll be my assistant. Hey, you got Pixar, okay? So, but like, it's hard to break in, even with like after interning at 2 animation studios. Like, it's not always guaranteed that you'll find a job, and it's not like
Right.
I mean, I got along with everyone over there, as you should as an intern. Make a good impression on people.
Better,
but it's but it's like even after that, it's tough to it's tough to like apply on your own, even with the people that Like I've met a lot of people in the industry, and it's still kind of it's still tough trying to find any openings. So I figured, what the heck am I gonna do? Like. I'm working a job right now where it's kind of a dead end job. It doesn't have, it has nothing to do with my art, but like it's like, well, what the heck am I do? How can I make some extra money? Then slowly I started to, get into
the ball start rolling. Yeah.
Just like my own work and stuff and freelancing and just and it even helps it definitely does help to have social media accounts. I have a couple of friends who, or whatever, artist friends who refuse to have social media. I'm like, dude,
weird.
No one's going to know who the hell you are.
It's weird.
As funny as it is to say that it is weird, in a way, it would behoove you to have a social media account, right? If you're an artist,
for professional reasons. Yeah, you don't have to be on it all day. You just need that.
You got to get past the whole I'm a little embarrassed to show my work. You got to get past that whole thing. I started uploading my work on DeviantArt, back, in college. I'm like, oh, this is not bad. I look at it now, it's complete dog shit. But it's a good thing to say that because that means that my artwork has progressed.
And that's just it. Like people are interested in seeing you progress. Yeah. They want to see that you're actually passionate about it and that you're working at getting better.
Yeah, and that's exactly. And you can see a day and night difference almost. And they got to get past that, and they also got to get past the whole I don't like Instagram or Facebook and stuff. It's like, you know what? If you have all these ideas and you're refusing to get one, then no one's going to know who the hell you are nor care.
Right.
So,
because they don't care. So why should everybody else care?
The only bad thing about social media is you end up getting trolls like Nicole or Noel, Noel. So
I know a trollette.
The bear.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting to see
or how they call her in the streets, Trollel.
Trollel.
I think she lives kind of close to you, doesn't she? I'm very careful.
Scribbler says,
"Man, I was anti-social media." Oh, sorry.
Javier says, "Man, I was anti-social media for so long. Then I get my head out of my ass and realized." I probably don't want to do what I do now my whole life and want to make some of my own art.
Awesome.
Yes, maybe a little, not a
lot. And it's
shots.
Shots fired. Yep.
Oh, shots! I thought you meant like actual shots.
It's not a shot.
That's a cannon, son.
Cannon. Well, the one thing though, Mike, I wanted to say to you is that you said you've had two other internships, right?
Yeah.
In other places. A lot of times, and we've said this on the show, a lot of times it just comes down to timing, right? So I would say keep progressing on what you're doing, keep getting better at your art. It looks fantastic. It's just timing. So you just had the crappy luck of when your internship ended, spots weren't there or things weren't available for you to get at the time. But I feel like just even with my career back in the day getting started, it was all about timing for me too. Not anything else. I feel like the stuff was ready. I feel like I had the art test and killed it and did my thing back in the day. But that was timing. But my timing was 2.5 years, almost 3 years after graduation. Whereas other buddies, it was a lot sooner. Just because they're in a bit different point or the right time, right time, right place. And I just missed it.
It happens.
So it just happens. But it's coming. The one thing I tell people, and even when I used to teach, and even now, is I would say is don't give up because you might miss it.
Keep working.
Oh man,
I don't know what it's going to look like.
And I mean, a lot, and I'm going to answer this person, Ellie. She asked a question in a second, but
cool.
It definitely does help to have the people. I mean, I know it might sound cliche, but the people that you love in your life, who support you unconditionally. My girlfriend has definitely done that for me. She has definitely put. I think she really actually pushed me to get into the animation expo. Because I was always
that's awesome.
I overthink a bit, and bless her soul, she does give me that drive, and so. And she also gives me the drive to just don't ever give up and keep pushing at it, even if you feel that it's even if it is mentally draining. Oh God, how do these people get animation jobs and I'm not? It's just keep making. and I have
And
made.
I know that it's easier said than done, but don't compare yourself to other people.
That's the other thing
That's
too.
where it becomes a dark hole, and it's a free fall, and you will hate yourself. So don't do that.
Yeah, I know. That's one thing I had to. Do you mind if I answer Ellie's question?
Oh, no, go ahead. We do that.
So Ellie asks, I came really late, but I have a question. What was your very first step towards freelancing in art?
So my very first step, like, is this like when I first started off as a freelancer?
Yeah, I think this is what she wants to know. Yeah, your very first one.
My very first step in freelancing. Well, yeah, kind of like what we spoke about. You know, in a way, it kind of just happened because my friend emailed me. My friend Bill. This is back before I started. Before my the first children's book that I ever did. He asked, like, hey, I see that you put your art on like DeviantArt and stuff, or you post it on Facebook, because that's during the time. No, I'm sorry. I think it was like, it was Facebook or MySpace. Shit, I can't remember. He's like, hey, my friend's interested, in making a children's book. Would you be interested in doing it? And I was a little hesitant at first because I've never done anything big like that. I knew in the end it would be a milestone for me.
Right, for sure.
Publish a children's book with my artwork on it. And so there's many steps that you can take towards it. It just depends on how you receive it, though. It depends on in my case, someone reached out to me, and it kind of just went from there, and right. This is actually probably like the second time actually in my whole career where I didn't do a contract, because it was just like my first time. It was just really kind of like a verbal agreement, or a email AOL agreement, because that's what I was using at the time, was AOL. But nowadays, like, in terms of like first steps, if I reach out to them, like if I'm on Craigslist and I see someone like saying like, we're looking for a storyboard artist for a 60-second promo or something, or we're looking for someone to design this character, I will reach out to them. I always ask, and I'm just gonna talk about characters, because most people do like characters. I don't know if Ellie, if you're listening, what do you do? If you're a character designer or artist or something, or storyboard artist. But like, anyways, with like a cartoonist, I would always just be kind of vague and say I'm a cartoonist, because some people are vague like that themselves. And so I'll say like, yeah, I saw your ad. I'm interested. What kind of style are you looking for? Like, when's your turnaround time? I would always tell them like, I generally do have a fairly quick turnaround time. I don't know what your budget is like, but here's, and usually I don't give a price right away until I hear more detail. I say like, please inform me on any other details that you may have left out. Like, right. Like, what's this character about? A little description of what the character is like. What is this going to be used for? That's really important to ask. Like, is this going to be used for anything? You don't want to design something because, like, don't assume that people are asking you to design something because they just want to have a cartoon. There's always going to be a reason that they're going to use it for something for,
Yeah. And Ellie says she's still in high school, watching this while animating her short film. So this is going to be good advice for her as she moves forward.
Okay. Yeah. So you're an animator then. I'm gonna go ahead and say storyboard artist, because that's the closest thing that I'm doing. But again, I still work in the vein of animation, so like character designing as well.
Cool.
But I always ask kind of like, in like, what style are you looking for? If it's a storyboard, how many seconds is it gonna be? What is it gonna like? What kind of a story? Like, what is it gonna be for? Is it gonna be and what style? Is it going to be like in a funny, wacky, cartoony style, or is it going to be, this or that? And yeah, you want to lay out the basics first, and don't ever and in terms of pricing, I can't it's hard to tell a freelance artist, you know, what you should name your price at. However, you should always go into valuing yourself. You know, don't ever sell yourself out short. You kind of want to use like a sort of like logic with it. Like, you don't want to overprice someone because that means you're taking advantage. Or you don't want to undershort yourself because that means you don't take value in yourself. But also, you negotiate yourself with them too. You know, just say like, here's what my starting prices are, and here's what my terms are. You know, and always factor in the idea that even sketches, especially if someone asks for like sketches, you know, say like I have to charge for those too.
Right.
Because if you do sketches and they're like, oh, that's not what we're looking for, and they say, and they, you know, break south, you know, is you know, or break north, whatever the phrase is, they could use what you did, and just they could be artists themselves, you know, just like shitty artists themselves, and just take your idea and work off that, you know. So it's and you know, there's a lot of mistakes that I've made that I you know, learned a lot now, and you know, I'm sure there will still be mistakes I'm making in the future, but I definitely do have a ground, an understanding with how to go about like getting a freelancing job. And also you know, ask for a deposit up front.
That's a big one.
Yeah, that's always a big one. Always ask for a deposit up front. It doesn't have to be 50-50 sometimes, and this is how fair I try to be with people, because I don't want them to think like I'm a stingy asshole. So I just say, give me like 40-60 or 30-70 or something, you know? Sure. Like 30% upon front, and yeah.
I thought you said stinginette.
Stinginette? I don't know. That actually sounds like a cool word.
Here's something that's super easy that you can do to move into freelance. Open up a Instagram account and draw.
That helps.
I've gotten a lot of work just off of the silliness that I put on Instagram. And I'm designing t-shirts now. I'm doing I did you know how I've been doing Carlos's cartoon karaoke? Right. I got a paying project doing something similar to that.
Oh, nice.
Stay busy doing and this is the trick. Only show work that you want to do.
Great point.
That's the other thing that I've noticed about your page, Carlos, is that, and again, this is something that my girlfriend gives me shit about a lot, but she has a point, is that your page is consistent. I will say my page is pretty inconsistent with like what I draw, and I think it's just because like I'm like an ADD artist. It's like I'll draw one thing. It's like, I like this idea this concept I'm working on. Ooh, I want to draw this little character. I want to draw this one. Okay, I'm gonna start drawing. I'm gonna start doing sketches now. Ooh, I want to do the one where it's a digital drawing, and then my minds are always over the place, and it's just hard to stick with one thing. And now I just look at my Instagram, just like, God, it's just a bunch of sloppiness, you know, like. But I mean, like a lot of people. But I mean, at the same time, I try to be like universal. Like
squirrel.
I can draw a squirrel. I can
drawing.
But like, for instance, going back to like what Carlos was saying about like, you know, posting your work on Instagram, it really does help. You know, land you, even if it's not a big job, just like people hitting you up, you know, asking you for this, like depending on what you do, you want to give yourself multiple, you know, train yourself in some like multiple ways if you want. I'm doing that with like, you know, like now I'm starting to learn graphic designing a little bit. I would never call myself a graphic designer, at least not yet. But I figured if you have the program, if you feel capable and comfortable doing it, then you know why not learn a new trait, you know, right. Which is why I say I'm like the jack of all trades. But like going back to like posting your work on Instagram, like someone just hit me up, like just a random person saying like, "Hey, can you do Simpson commissions?" And you know, we want. I'm sorry, man.
What is it again? You said sensing?
Simpsons. Yeah, like the Simpsons.
Simpsons.
The cartoon. Yeah.
And they were saying like, "Oh, we want to be drawn as Simpson characters, and you know, can you draw us?" And I'm just like, "Yeah." What the hell am I thinking of? Yeah, I'm you know, I never drew anyone as Simpson characters, but you know, if you, I was looking, I was kind of like using references. You know, you always want to look at references, you know, before you draw anything.
Right.
And I came up with like my first Simpsons drawing, and it's been taken off like crazy. Like here was the first.
Wow.
This was the first. Yeah. You see a lot of them I'm scrolling past through right now. This was the first one that I did right here, and you know, it is one of the many. It's one of the few pictures that I had like a crap load of likes. At least a lot for me, because I don't have like thousands and thousands of followers. And
good.
After that, like after I posted that, like it spread. Like a lot of people, you know, were hitting me up to like, "Oh, can you draw me in the Simpsons style?" Like, and then like after that, like, you know, just more and more people would always ask. And like that was, and it made sense because it's the Simpsons. It's a super popular. It's you know, it's everyone knows the Simpsons is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
And so yeah, everyone's gonna want to be drawn in this style. By the way, I want to add that I am no way affiliated with Fox or the Simpsons. So please, me.
Yo, the pregnant one was hilarious.
Oh yeah, this one, yeah. This was a thing. So you know, 1 week they asked me to draw like this, and like a couple weeks after, it's like, "Oh, can you draw us again?" But like now my wife is pregnant, so it's like, sure, I have them like this.
Was this like their announcement, their baby announcement?
Yeah, exactly. It was their
nice.
You know, again, like going back to using references. I don't know if you guys watch The Simpsons, but for anyone who watches The Simpsons, there was a scene where Homer was envisioning himself as like I think the mayor or something, and Marge was out just kind of like rocking, like she was shit. I'll even see if I can find it, but like it's a hilarious drawing, or I'm sorry, a scene from The Simpsons that I've always loved. He's like wearing a top hat, or yeah, right here. It was this scene right here. He's rocking back and forth on a chair, and Marge is just dancing. But and so that's what I was doing. Just instead of a gun, he was you know, has a cigarette. She was about to puke.
I like that. That's such a good one.
Okay, I'm going back here now. But yeah, you post your stuff. Start posting anything. Just quit thinking about how, you know, the insecurity of your art, and just get past that and start just posting on whatever you can. You know, Instagram's a new thing now. I was on DeviantArt at first.
So she's got a further question. Is there anything about Instagram in particular that makes it better than other social media for artists? Is it the best image sharing place?
Is it? I mean, I'm looking at it. Is it the best? Now, well, that's kind of that's subjective to say whether it's the best. It's for me personally, it's definitely nabbed me a lot of jobs.
Say it's the most. You can say it's the most current right now in terms of.
It is the most.
So it doesn't necessarily have to be a matter of what's best, because all these things come and go in trends anyway. So what's good now won't be necessarily what's good next year. But and this is why you need to, we said earlier, we say all the time, you need to just be on social media in general. Because, you know, as Instagram dies out and something else shows up, then you jump on that, you put your professional, you know, stamp on it, and then you have it there. You know, you're being malleable to where people are. You just want to be where the eyes are at any given time, you know.
And the good thing to do also, Ellie, is when you're posting your artwork, definitely use hashtags, because that is what's going to help you get more exposure.
hashtags, and there's a little website.
People can tap a hashtag, and then if your stuff shows up, that's kind of one of the things that we purposely do when we're sharing other people's artwork for Sketch Zone, is we purposely use those tags, so then people will hopefully use those hashtags to follow us and then find out who drew that, and everyone is drawing kind of the same thing. So it's
right.
You know, we've been able to spread the love using hashtags and stuff.
Cool.
Yeah.
And then actually Javier said, where did it go?
For me, in response to Ellie says,
yeah, Ellie, for me, it's really all I'm on, and the artist community seems pretty awesome.
Yeah.
It's also super easy for an idiot like me to navigate.
With that said, don't limit yourself just to Instagram. Like, don't rely on it for your means of like just
right.
Like you have to put forth more effort than just posting, like, you know. And you know, honestly, unless you guys want to chime in on something else, that I use Craigslist a lot to you know, hit up some people looking for jobs. Now, I know there are some places like Freelancer, which I signed myself on, and then I don't. I kind of weaned off it like right away, because I didn't like the idea that there's someone saying like, oh, I'm looking for a graphic designer. My budget is between $600 to you know, $1,800, and you get people like, say, like for me, it's like I'll do it for like, you know, $800, and you get someone from India saying like, oh, I'll do it for, you know, $50, you know. And it's like, I hate that. Like, that you can put bids on there and you can see the prices, and it's just like, of course, people from around the world are gonna be asking for much cheaper if their currency is like, you know, that if they're fine with selling for $50. So I mean, I don't know. Craigslist for me, I feel it's a little bit more relevant, a lot more local, especially. But I mean, if there's like any other places, like any other websites that you know, where they have like creative gigs that anyone can just kind of like apply to. Because Ellie, once again, draw every day for one. Draw every single day. Not, you know, I mean, you can share, you know, everything you draw, but if I was gonna say, make a website of your work and only show your best work, and you know that, you know, you want whatever people, whatever gauges more of a response from people, you know, share it with people. You can show it to your folks, you know, and your best friend, but they're always going to agree with everything you like anyways. So you might want, that's why you want to share it on social media, or you know, get some feedback. You know, there was an artist that said, you're going to be making 1 million shitty drawings until you make your first great drawing.
Great.
Yeah, you know, I mean, sometimes it's true, you know, but like
a lot of times.
Yeah, I think it was a Disney artist too. I can't remember, God, but like, you know, you have yourself a little website, and you know, make yourself a resume too. I know you're still in high school. I didn't even have a resume, for God's sakes, until I was in like the end of college. So I mean, you know, you're asking, she's asking at a right time, and I know
that's the perfect time.
Right.
You know, hopefully this helps her in some way. But yeah, you know, I would start right now with you know, putting your work out there on whatever you have. Even if you have Facebook, do Facebook as well. Facebook, Instagram. I never used Tumblr. I don't even have a Twitter. So
that's dang.
Yeah.
What? Oh, it's like, oh, you wouldn't recommend Twitter, or you're saying like you wouldn't idiot? No. Okay.
Twitter's for people that are angry at politics.
Like that guy behind you.
Instagram, yeah, that's one of my favorites. So, yeah, I would say, if you, this is going to sound super weird, but
we're ready.
If you are a visual artist, go to where the visuals are the main thing.
Right.
And yeah, for like Noel said, the more platforms you post on, the more people see it. That's very true, but you have to be very careful with social media will become a full-time job. And that's time that you can spend drawing. So, but there's a really cool thing, like especially on Instagram and all that stuff. It lets you share to Twitter and Facebook and Tumblr and all that stuff. So I post, me personally, I post to Instagram, and then it depends. Like I have Tumblr that'll hopefully show my artwork and my videos and stuff like that. So I'll send things to Tumblr like that. I don't necessarily send pictures of my bread to Tumblr, even though my bread game is on point.
It's good.
Oh, hey, I have another question for you.
Are you reading someone or?
Hey, Mike Essa. It's Jack. You can't get rid of me that easy. I got a question for you.
Sure.
What makes you the coolest dude in the world?
You remember that, man?
Okay, I got a second one. Where do you pull your inspiration from for your artwork, for your style? Because you've got a pretty specific look to your characters. And don't say Donald Trump, even though we all know that Carlos has Donald hanging on his wall. It's okay if that's an inspiration, but where do you get your other inspiration?
I mean, like, it is a little universal. Like, in terms of style of my inspiration, a lot of it came from just being a '90s kid. A lot of, you know,
powdered toast.
Much of playing video games, but like more so, like watching like a lot of Nicktoons. You know, John Kay. He's definitely, you know, screwed up my life and for the best in terms of like the art that he came up with.
Right.
A lot of the inspiration does come from just like also watching a ton of like, you know, movies and I mean, I watch a lot of movies too, you know, and I think it would behoove a lot of people who are trying to get into the entertainment industry, because that's what this whole thing is, especially when it comes to animation, is that it is an entertainment industry. So you should be watching anything and everything, to be honest with you, because
all types of stuff. Yeah.
You want to have a medium. You want to have like a variety of like, you know, genres, you know, that are in the back of your mind. You want to be aware that those exist. Especially like the cult classics, you know. So those are a lot of inspirations. In terms of like humor, I do base a lot of my humor on and off, like, you know, what I illustrate,
right,
off like you know, a lot of stand-up comedians I listen to, George Carlin, Louis C.K., even though that guy's a head case right now. You know, a lot of the Simpsons writing, you know, just I grew up with like my brother and his friends, like those guys inspired me with, like, you know, all their funny ideas that they come up with. I know I'm being kind of like general right now with like the answer, but that's really like the truth, like where I get like a lot of my inspiration for my artwork. You know, definitely like my girlfriend, you know, supports me with like a lot of ideas too. But like recently I've been doing like these, and again, like if you see my Instagram, it's just got a variety of things on there. So it's a little sloppy, but like I've been doing like these cartoons and real like photos, you know, like that was like,
I saw that.
Yeah, that was like an idea
like
of like
pig taking a crap.
Yeah, like the pig taking a crap. Like that was like an idea that like she had, and I was just like, you know, it's something I've never done before, and I figured, yeah, let's give it a shot. And it's fun, it's easy to do, it's quick to do as well, I should say, just because all the background's already there, and you get creative with it. And then pretty much just any contemporary things that are going on. Donald Trump is one of them, but he doesn't inspire me in a good way. He inspires me. He's like, I hate this shithead so much that I'm going to draw him. You know, but yeah.
Have you ever gotten any flack from drawing Trump and all that?
No, but the closest thing I ever did was over at the Animation Expo. I can't remember if I told you guys, but like there was this lady. She was looking at my prints, and basically I had like a tray of buttons. I have little Donald Trump buttons. I should have worn one tonight, but they're all in my car. But I have little Donald Trump buttons of just him, crying at his phone. And the lady comes by, and basically you buy a print and you get one for free. You get a little button for free. She buys a print of something, one of the an original character of mine. And I'm like, oh, and you can get yourself a print or get yourself a pin, a Donald Trump pin. And she's like, oh no, it's okay. And I'm like, oh no, but it's free. She's like, yeah, I know, but no, thank you. And I'm just like, oh, so you're one of those. It was the first thing that was the first snarky thing I ever. I mean, I don't know, like of the Donald Trump drawing that I ever got. So far, no one's ever said anything to me about it yet. And what are they going to do? Are they going to call me a snowflake? That's like the new. Whatever happened to the Republicans back then? They used to call people like, the F word. I don't want to say it on here to be, but they would be harsh with their insults. Now they're going backwards and calling us snowflakes. Like, that sounds really delightful.
Snowflakes.
That sounds refreshing.
What's the next word? Like these fucking cutie pies, Democrats. Like, how is snowflake a hard thing to be called? I don't know. That's just one thing I was thinking of. Just how does that hurt anyone? Anyways, I don't know. What I'm saying, answer your question, Jack. Is he even on the phone still?
No, he's gone. But I think
that was off of the Sketch Zone hotline. Yeah. See? So Noel, yes, people do use the Sketch Zone hotline.
In your face, Noel. Mrs. One loaf at a time. I don't know. I'm just reading her last.
She's crazy.
I'm just looking at
cool.
Yeah.
We've been going for damn near 3 hours now.
Yeah, just about 3 hours. Yeah, a little under 3 hours.
You see how time flies?
Charlie, you're a champ.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this has been great conversation.
Charlie doesn't sleep. He's a vampire.
Yeah, right. That, and it's been great conversation tonight.
Yeah.
And this chat has been like.
I see. I kind of saw him at one point. He was like.
No, I'm just looking down. Nah.
Instagram.
I'm there. No, I'm there.
Nah, bro. Thanks, man. It was great having you on.
Yeah, that's great.
I like how it sounds like I'm running the show here. Great having you guys on.
Fade that in. I like that. Yeah, we're not done with you yet.
I only have a few.
Okay.
This or that. Charles Schultz or Bill Watterson?
Mike.
Charles Schultz or
Bill Watterson?
Pick one or the other.
Okay, well.
Charlie Brown or Calvin and Hobbes?
Okay, that's.
Break it down.
I mean, Charles Schultz. Charles Schultz.
Nice.
I'm a Calvin and Hobbes person.
Starbucks or coffee, bean, and tea leaf?
Coffee, bean, and tea leaf.
Mm-hmm. That's some good stuff. People be sleeping on coffee. Bean.
Yeah. Break that down because I'm not a coffee person like you guys.
Okay, well, I'm a huge coffee guy. So if there was an other option, I would definitely go with the other option. But hey, I drink black coffee. Like, I just need. I don't add sugar. I don't add cream. I don't add any of that shit. I just want it black and strong. So
like your presidents.
Like our presidents. Yes. not white and frothy and fat.
Where are we going with this?
Oh gosh. But yeah, coffee bean. I don't know. Yeah, coffee bean, I guess,
Okay. Next
beautiful.
one.
Next one. Instagram or DeviantArt?
If I wanted to see two Japanese anime men making out.
Oh, here we go.
But yeah, for now and for a long time, Instagram for sure. Absolutely.
This is definitely what it's turned into.
It's so weird, man. DeviantArt is just
the youth. It's the youth.
It doesn't make sense. I see drawings of like overly obese, like fat drawings of like of a fox or a fucking.
Oh, the furry community.
Yeah, there's a huge furry community.
You leave them alone.
Then it's like if I try to like search for something like I don't know, like a drawing of like anything, like, if I just a character, it's like always anime,
furry version,
anime of like anime drawings of this character, and for some reason, it's always like if I look up South Park, it's always Kyle and Stan making out with each other. Something just like what goes through people's minds, like when they see a character.
That's the millennials in there. All they like.
Oh God, it's terrible. Ooh, Game of Thrones. I better draw Peter Dinklage making out with Jon Snow. You know, it's.
Okay.
Yep. Don't hate. Yeah. Hey, Noel, don't hate on the furry community.
They're everywhere. They're everywhere.
Furries need love too.
They could be your mayor, your congressman.
Dude, right when he said furry, this big fur came up.
Boom. Furries need love too.
Gypsy does need love. Yeah, you're still awake. Okay. I'm going to keep her here like a...
Dr. Evil?
What I'm doing? The next question.
Cintiq or iPad?
Oh, she answered.
Nice answer, furry.
Cintiq.
Cintiq.
It's the only time right now I have an iPad Mini. I'm only using that to fly my drone.
Ooh, nice.
So,
nice. What kind of drone do you have?
I have a Mavic Air, and it's my first drone, and it is freaking awesome, man. If you guys have ever taken any interest in flying a drone,
I have.
It's a lot cooler than like it just looks. If you see someone else flying it, it looks like well, whatever. It's a flying craft, but like when you see on your phone and what you can do with it, it's pretty awesome, man.
I want
so, yeah,
that's
cool. Cintiq for art.
Cool.
Excellent. So thank you for playing.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
no.
Oh, whoa!
Wow.
I thought we were going to see a different kind of furry that time.
Okay.
All right. With that being said,
you're the inspiration. You bring feeling to my life. You're the inspiration.
Let me see. Today we're going to take a look at Boom Zach Retz. He's a viz dev artist. He has an Instagram account. I'll have to pull it up. But he's a viz dev artist at Sony Pictures Animation. And this dude is, you know how I get when I see these loose painterly styles. I go a little bit crazy. But this dude, you want to talk about just some super tight, loose painting?
Super loose. And he's got perspective. Like, he knows his perspective.
Yeah. And this is just a series of squares. Couple triangles.
Right.
That's it.
That's great.
This dude is next level.
Stud.
Let's see what else we have here. Again, like, come on.
That's nuts, dude. Yeah, see that's like a whole animal. That's like a whole beast that I'm just like. Again, you know, to each their own. I think it's amazing. That's amazing stuff. I could never do anything like that, though.
Yeah.
But that's why, that's why he is who he is. Jesus, is that in the same drawing?
think you zoomed in. I think it's no, it's not actually.
No, I think what he's trying to do is say that maybe she's piloting
pink one.
Yeah,
this one possibly.
Because the theme in that one is pink, and so it's like, the color artist. I mean, what is it called? Like being consistent with like your color theme too. So it's like
yeah. So yeah, this dude, I will put his ArtStation link up there, but I'm gonna see if I can't track down his Instagram as well.
Nice.
But this dude, look at
wow,
the cityscape.
The water on the ground is great.
And he's just throwing down shapes, colors, simple shapes.
Simple like this.
I wonder how fast he can throw these down.
Oh, how long it's taking him?
Yeah. Look at, and then if you ask him to kick it up a notch, he's just like, "Here, big dummy."
Yeah.
That's good. Good pick. Ooh, I like that one.
Look at, and this one is in San Francisco. They have these little cart things here.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, but wait, above that's totally Burbank.
This?
It looks like Burbank at least.
Huh? Could be. San Francisco doesn't necessarily have.
Oh, yeah, there it is. Burbank and SF city paintings.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say because this looks very much like San Francisco. This looks very much like the LA area. So yeah, Burbank and SF. That makes a lot of sense. Oh, look at that perspective, son.
My dad just texted me right now.
Michael,
great job tonight. You guys pulled it off with those. You pulled it off with those guys. Congratulations. Thanks, Pops, if he's listening.
Nice, Pops.
Look at this dude here. He's just bananas.
Yeah, that's good. And that's totally different style.
Yeah.
Switching it up.
A little bit more finished.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
But the important thing, I mean, oh, and Ellie, this is another spot if you want to share your work somewhere else. Instagram, I think, would be my #1 spot. ArtStation would be a very another really good spot. It's a little overwhelming. It's a little overwhelming. Because there's just some animals out here.
Right. Beast.
But the cool thing is you go here to find inspiration. And then once you are comfortable with getting your stuff out there, it's you just get it out there.
Have you ever heard of Behance?
Yes.
Behance yeah.
Is another
yeah.
I have a Behance account. I just haven't really. I kind of stopped uploading a bunch of things on there. I don't know. Not that I found anything wrong with it. I think I just kind of like lost track of things. I just figured I'm getting more, hits on Instagram, so I want to focus on that more. But damn.
Yeah. Behance is a good one. They make it it's a little tedious to actually post things because you have the work, you load it up, then you have to create an icon or like a cover image for it, and then you have to like select the different categories that it falls under, and then you have to select the software that you use, and it gets a little bit where Instagram you just post, do little hashtags. But the good thing about the reason I use Behance is #1, it's free. #2, if you have a Creative Cloud subscription, you get free web hosting that is fed by your Behance account. So the way I use it is if I'm working on a project or even something like these fun prompts, what I do is I'll post that stuff to Behance.
Right.
But then if it's something that I did that I want my portfolio to show, then I make sure that that new post is sent to the portfolio because of Creative Cloud, you get a free website too.
Oh, that's cool.
I got you.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah.
So if you go to Gomez Creative Labs, you see a lot of the same work that's on behance.net/coconut justice. But I'm able to turn off and on all the stuff that I want to show on my website.
Okay. Yeah, I like the only website hosting I'm using it through right now for my portfolio is the DeviantArt portfolio.
Do you have a Creative Cloud subscription?
No, I don't actually. So they have free website hostings. Now the thing with theirs is that the galleries or the limit of what you can post is limited. Like you can do like up to like 4 separate galleries and like maybe like 10 photos each, or maybe like a 50 photos total or something. Mm-hmm. Now you can pay extra to do infinite amount, but I figured at that point I may as well just make myself my own website, because it would be nice to have like a .com, you know, Mike Essa art.com. Yeah, but that'd be good. Just a matter of when to get around.
And that's well, again, if you're getting into the Creative Cloud, basically the way that it works is I think they went out and they bought myportfolio.com. And then they integrated myportfolio.com into Behance, and then you can have it set up to where Mike Essa art would be the my portfolio page.
Behance.com.
But that's where it sucks. You need to pay $50 a month.
15?
50
a month.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wish I could stop, but I use so much of their software. I use Flash, Illustrator, Photoshop, Audition, Premiere, Character Animator, Behance, my portfolio. Like,
I forget Behance was part of Adobe. So that's why I thought it was just Behance. You pay $50 a month just for the website.
Yeah,
I forget that's part of Adobe. So never mind. $50 a month is not that bad in that case, because I was considering paying $59 a month just for Storyboard Pro.
Mm-hmm.
So and I figured no, if anything, I'd rather.
And on that note, take a look at Storyboarder. It's an open source storyboard.
Did you ever look at that one? I mean,
I have it installed.
Did you ever use it?
I have it installed. I just need to actually get it actually work. I have a few stories that I need to. I'm sending you guys the link right now. But yeah, it's legit. There's a lot of people that are using it now, and it's free. So anyway, hey Charlie, would you like to go now?
Yep, I'm ready to go. Unless Jack wants to. Oh, wait a minute.
Let's dim the lights for Charlie here.
I got
turn off the lights.
This is my favorite section.
Candle.
My favorite section of the show. You know, artist inspiration.
Charlie's Corner.
Charlie's hot, moist corner.
Hello.
Coin.
Okay. All right. So this week, I went 2D.
Yeah, buddy.
I was sitting here going back and forth, as I usually do, on two of the people that I was going to go with, and this guy made it. So Alejandro Berdicio, right? Berdicio? Yeah, Berdicio. This guy does.
Berdicio.
This guy is a badass, right? Studio Berdicio. He has a really cool style that's kind of well known on the internet. You've probably seen one of his concepts before in a singular fashion. Today you'll see all of his stuff and it'd be cool. So check it out. So here's the first one here. So he does this like flying city, like sci-fi.
Oh, wow.
What's up?
That's awesome.
That's really cool.
You scared the crap out of me. I was like, what?
I did that.
Yeah, we're not done. So he does a really good job of mixing old and new, right? And this is an ongoing series for his series Universal Chitara. I don't know. What is that? Can you translate that, Carlos?
Where's that?
At the bottom here. Siri. I don't know. But
Serie Universo Chatarra.
Yeah, it's like that's what he's calling this project in all these pictures. I don't know what the meaning is, but it's cool. So
It might be. I don't know. I don't think that's Spanish. It might be Brazilian or something, or Portuguese.
Okay, cool.
But I think what it says is it's a series for the Chatarra universe.
Chatarra universe. Okay, cool. So let's look at a bunch of these because they get better and better. So he's a really good concept artist that has a good handle on just form and
That ship looks like a whale.
Right? Look at this one. Love it. He just takes it and turns it on his head. Regular stuff. It gets better. Look at the line work. Just in case you thought it was all like painting.
Painting on top of a photograph. Yeah,
got the skills, man, and he just renders them amazingly. Let's keep going. Look at this. Just in case you thought it was like a really cool gestury Photoshop painting. Some line art there. That's really good. Obviously covers all this up, but like he's designing everything. I mean, there's some really good, crazy things here. Look at this. Look at this. Let me scroll here for you. Like just in case.
That's patience that I don't have.
Just in case.
Me neither.
Just trying to show you why I pick these things. Now, some of the famous ones are like, look at this guy. Carlos, you're gonna like this one. This guy,
Yeah, buddy.
Here's some other ones here. That's kind of cool. Let me find some of those other car ones here. Look at this. Look at this guy here. That's just fabulous. I love this guy's style. It's like when you zoom in, it's like so much detail there. So much work went into each section of these things. Look at all the wires.
It's like some Studio Ghibli shit.
Yeah. It's really good. There's a couple more things here. I love the shape of this guy for some reason. I just really like that. So he has two different, he has this old retro style sci-fi, but then he has all this really fantastical, really cool sci-fi stuff that's different from the other stuff, It's really nice. Let's see here. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. Look at this. The party bus.
Oh my god! Scroll back up.
This looks like a combination. It's like like a dark future style that he's doing, kind of like in Ready Player One.
Yeah.
As to Peter said, I tried to be like Van Gogh, but all I managed to do was cut my ear.
Yeah. Oh, Carlos, you'll appreciate this one. Check this one out. Simple, but
ooh, look at the chrome.
That's
the new Chicago bean.
Crazy, right?
But look at the painting involved in reflecting the sky in chrome.
That's crazy.
It's just like it's simple, but it's like he's reflecting the sky in that one, guys.
I'm trying to find an artist. If I can find him, then I'll go ahead and show him off a little bit.
These cars are legit, dude.
it's a great take on them.
Rats. I don't know if I can find it.
It's a lot of stuff. I love the train one. So those are sick. Oh, nice.
God. Is that like is all that's in Photoshop too? You think, or like?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's. I would guess all of it's just painted.
Some people use what's that called? Paint. Coral paint.
Mm-hmm.
I used to use Coral paint, but it was so slow, like, for me to ever use. Like it just for some reason they would use the render of like a paint drawing.
One of my favorite ones right here.
That's crazy. This dude is absolutely bonkers.
I want to watch a movie in this world, you know.
Yeah,
I love this one.
exactly.
It's one of my favorite too. Yeah, look at this. Just looks like there's so much going on there. You know, just in style, and then like you can go back and check out the drawings are like in panoramic mode, like here. So all the drawings and in the notes. I like reading all the little notes next to the concept work too. This is really nice. Yeah.
It really does have that that kind of like Studio Ghibli vibe to it, Miyazaki vibe to it.
Mm-hmm. Anything else? Yep. So that's mine. Yeah, a couple boats in there to round it off. There we go. Sci-fi boats. That's great. So yeah, check them out, guys. Link will be in the show notes. Alejandro Berticio.
Very nice.
Alejandro Berticio.
Yeah, there you
go. Hey, Mike, would you like to share?
Yes, I do. You know, there's one guy I was trying to find. I do have a backup though. And let me get myself on here quickly. Okay. Mitch Liui. I'm not even sure if I'm saying his name right.
Oh yeah.
He's more character based, which is, you know, something that I, you know, like myself, I like. God, you know, one thing I like about like the style is that like he definitely knows how to nail the youthful look on these characters, and even his his rough art. It's like you like the one thing you want to do as a character artist, or even just as any artist, is like you show your rough concepts, because it, depending on who you're showing it to, like they like to see development work. And like this right here, like this is like a good sample right here. You know, he shows like how he made this whole house just using your basic perspective, your 3-point perspective. You make this house here very, you know, just using shapes, just shapes, you know. And look how much he adds onto it in the very end. His cleanup. 70 minutes it took him to do this whole thing.
Crazy talk.
Like, I would just like, you know, you got to have a strong focus. Also, what I like about his page as well, for those who want to become digital artists, not only does he do like a step-by-step like on how he came up with this character, but he also gives you like just like tidbits on like how to kind of like render your drawings to make it look look like a 3D character, really. And I actually learned something about learned a little bit from using his tutorials on like doing like line work, because like I used to find it like difficult to like kind of make my outlines invisible, so you don't really see an outline on here. It just kind of seems to look like a 3D character in a way. But I found a much easier way to do that just from following this guy and reading his tutorials. Yeah, like again, these are all just hand drawn, but they look like completely 3D renders though too, like from the naked eye. And so he just kind of shows you like just using your most basic brushes, but you also need to have understanding of like lighting and shading as well. You know, where's your light source coming from? So you as an artist, you always want to keep that on the back of your mind. You know, like, well, okay, well the light source is coming from this area right here, and so naturally it'll be darker like around this side. You know, he even adds a highlight there too, just to give it more of that like pop out effect. Hey, so anyone who's breaking in to get like to be a character designer, or who wants to be inspired off some ideas as a character artist, this guy is definitely you know, someone to follow, get some good advice from. He responds to you. He's very courteous in responding to anyone with any questions. So you know, it's a great schedule. That's also a good thing to see in someone, that they value the people who follow them, their followers. Yeah, it's just cool, you know. He even just like labels like how long it took him to do, like to get up to like this like final like point. Like look, it's nuts. So yeah, anyone who's looking into wanting to become a character designer, or even just like a pre-visual developer, this guy is definitely a good follower. And one more person too, Justin Rodriguez, J-Town. He's definitely
cool.
Someone who draws really rough, but he also explores with a bunch of geometric shapes, and you know, look at this right here. I love how just like rough it is, but he still like, you know, displays like the emotion of the character, like just, you know, and it's really great work that he does too. Yeah, he explores just various different you know, shapes. You know, like you see with the gorilla right here, but you know, if you go up, like, you know, giant head, thin torso. Again, you know, these are a lot of tactics that you see used with Steven Silver and his art as well. But yeah, so yeah, Justin Rodriguez and Mitch Lee. I got it, and I'm so sorry. Oh, Louie.
Mitch Lee.
Sorry if I'm butchering your name there, Mitch. I don't even think he knows that. You know, he doesn't even know who the hell I am. So I'm gonna be like, yo, dude, you owe a stranger for giving you a shout out on podcast.
20%. Because the 61.8 thousand followers that are following him already.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, those are killer. I think I'm following both of those guys, and I think I have to take those off of my list of pimps to show off. But yeah, that's incredible. Those guys are bonkers. So, Mike, if people want to find your work online, where can they find you? /it.
Okay, so let's start with Instagram since we're on that. If you want to find me on Instagram, you can look me up. I will say the name, then I'll spell it out for you. It's Mike Essart. So it's my first name, last name Essa, and then the word art. But I spell it Mikessart. So
efficiency.
I'm an artist, man. I'm so creative.
Such a wordsmith.
So yeah, find them all together. So Mikessart, Instagram. Now for my website, you can look me up at MikeEssa.daportfolio.com. MikeEssa.daportfolio.com. That's for like my character designs. Anything really. Character development, character sketches, life drawing, and for my storyboarding, you would just look up Mike's Stories.daportfolio.com. MikeEssStories. So MikeStories.daportfolio.com.
Nice.
And that is that. If you want to look up, animatics. No, I'm gonna. That might be a little bit hard because it's all on YouTube. So you can just look up my name, Michael Essa Storyboard on YouTube.
Find you. Yeah. Perfect.
Yeah.
Excellent. Charlie, before I let you go, I want to do this. Where are we at? Here we go. Okay, so let's do that. No, what do I do? Okay, so I'm trying to set this up properly. So this is Mitch Louie, let's just say it that way. And I want you guys to take a look at this character right here in the bottom middle. Right?
Okay.
That came from here. So Shiloh asked folks, draw this in your style.
Mm.
And Mitch did that very thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Two monsters feeding off of each other.
Nice.
See what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Cool?
Like
if Ellie is watching, these are things that you can participate in that'll help get your artwork out there. When people ask you, draw this in your style, feel free to do that.
I have not done that yet, actually.
I haven't either. Jack did one of these for Shiloh's.
Yeah.
I think the last thing I did that I partook in was Inktober.
Okay.
The whole Inktober phase was like the last thing I did in terms of like social media trend.
Oh, cool. Ellie, did you happen to catch Vani Flores's episode on Sketch Zone? Ooh. We had her on the show probably 2 months ago now.
2 months ago.
So hey, Charlie, if people are looking for you online, where can they find you?
Yeah, if you're looking for me online, you can find me in a couple different spots. You can find me at my website, which is cargogalactic.com/Charlie B. Williams. You can find me on Instagram, Instagram.com/CharlieBW3. You can find me on Twitter, not on it much, but I'm on there, CBW3. Find me on that almighty Pinterest page. I have resources for everyone because this is what I use. That's what I like.
Resources.
We talk about inspiration, anything you can think of, from tutorials to different artists and stuff like that. If you like the artist inspiration we do here each week, I have a bunch of different stuff on there from all type of stuff because I'm always learning new things. So check it out. I really.
That's Charlie.
Good old Charlie.
Which
joke.
one is that one? Oh, the Instagram.
That's
Yeah,
your Instagram.
Yeah, it's Instagram. I have really good pictures of barbecue on my Instagram, and I dare someone to try to out barbecue me. But whatever, that's another issue. I won't gloat on that. But anyway, yeah, I'm really pushing Pinterest. Yeah, those are really good ribs. So short ribs, if you will, fall off the bone. Anyway, I really pushing the Pinterest thing because I've been using it a lot more lately. It goes in waves and stuff like that. But there's some really good new tutorials and stuff that I put up from different things I find. I scour the internet for different things. I'm doing a kick right now with Houdini. So there's a new Houdini board up there. If you guys are looking into visual effects and really cool particles and all that good stuff, come join me in trying to learn the hardest program known to man to learn. Trying to do it, but once I do it, it's like the best Swiss Army knife of a 3D program you can ever have. So yeah, check me out on there. Lots of new stuff. I really, really like Pinterest. It's not just a joke on here. I really use it a lot. It's really good. Anything else? Let's see. That's it. I can't wait for Jack to be back and give us a good story next week about his speaking. But Carlos, for you.
Speaking of next week, Scribbler80, looking at you, buddy.
Hey, talking to you. Be here.
No, I know. Hey, speaking of Jack, you can find him at sketchbookjack.com and sketchbookjack everywhere else. I am Carlos Gomez. You can find me at coconutjustice.com. Coconut Justice everywhere. That's right, Javi. I want you, buddy. I need you on the show, man. We got to bring some love. Chi-Town love.
Yeah, come join me on this late show with me, Javi.
Yeah. Javier. Listen, Javier is
how far is he away from
Scribbler and the number 80 on Instagram. I do believe I've already had him as my artist inspiration already.
You have.
Yeah.
You actually have. I can't remember the show number, but
no pressure, but there's a lot of pressure. Mm-hmm. It's late, bro. You're still awake right now.
Yeah.
Don't give me
that.
As
this
to
is true.
Peter said,
and you're just sitting there.
I had this really weird kid in my art class. He was a strange fellow.
Okay.
The night's just beginning.
Here we go. The chat's starting to wait.
So anyway, hey, coconutjustice.com, Coconut Justice on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, Behance, and Twitch. I've been streaming a lot on Twitch. Come and keep me company. OMG, run Scribbler while you can. Noel, if you don't stop.
I knew that was Noel. I didn't even have to chat up. I knew that sounded like a Noel. Like
so yeah, this is Sketch Zone. Go to sketch.zone. This was episode 150.
Thanks for joining us, guys.
And I couldn't be more blessed to have be doing it on 150 episodes, man. That's nuts.
Yeah, man. It's so crazy.
Awesome. That's good times.
I feel like Seinfeld. Man. In my like
go to
fourth of a season.
Yeah, if we were a sitcom, we would be syndicated.
We'd be that old school sitcom that is still on. Because what is 150 episodes? That's like a good 3 or 4 seasons, right?
No, that's a lot of seasons.
That's more. We're like Cheers.
Yeah, you need exactly. You need 100 episodes to get syndicated in sitcom language, and that's like years and years. Anyway,
yeah, we're like in Frasier, like I Love Lucy levels. Maybe the Cosby Show type deals.
Yeah, go to twitch.tv/coconutjustice and you'll see what I'm talking about.
Cool.
I'm constantly drawing, and now I'm doing, like I said, I got some kid
stuff going on
that I'm working on. Mm-hmm. And then we also have links to everything. We're all over the place too. Twitter, Instagram. If you're on Instagram, you should be drawing.
Oh yeah,
no, that's the old one.
The new one.
We're doing
plastic.
I thought I wrote it down. Oh, here we go.
Speaker.
You got a screenshot.
A plastic speaker tidying Art Deco.
Oh, God.
That's just a hodgepodge of stuff, but that's fine. We'll get through it.
Yeah.
You know what? if you go to twitch.tv/coconut justice, you'll see how a true professional gets through that hodgepodge of mess. Most have 13 to 23 episodes. So yeah. And then once you draw a plastic speaker tidying Art Deco, tag us on Instagram. So then that way we can share it and then we're able to show it live on the show. And then if you are not able to watch us live, like Javier and Shiloh and other near-do-wells, you know who I'm talking about, troll. If you can't make it live, you can find us on Stitcher, SoundCloud, Google Play Music, and obviously iTunes. So Charlie is drawing on Twitch. How dare you? Yeah. So I think that's it for episode 150. We gave you damn near 4 hours of goodness.
I think you can say goodness.
Of goodness.
Sweet goodness.
Were you turning tricks for me or something?
Yes.
Wow, it's getting late. You gotta go.
Dude.
Thanks, Scribbler. Thanks, Javier. I'll be reaching out. You know I will.
Nation.
He said it's late. He's still alive. He's still awake.
He's still alive.
Instagram.
Still alive.
He's still posting on Instagram and stuff, talking about is late. Like, boy, we're gonna get him on the show.
It's so late. I should be getting some sleep right now, but I'm not. Says.
Here we go.
Right.
Longest closer ever.
Not me.
Button it up. Let's go, Carlos.
So that's it, y'all. Have a wonderful week. See you next week.
Have a great week, guys.
Peace, Charlie. Hey, man. By the way, I'm totally down to do this again if you guys ever bring anyone back. So just FYI.
Don't hang up yet. Everyone have a good week.
Mm-hmm.